Of Longview along with Tony Kirk. We welcome you to the green out version of the Lobos action tonight as the Wylie East Raiders are coming into Lobos Stadium for a 5A, or it's actually a 7-5A Division I district matchup.
Week 2 in district play, and Longview comes in at 1-0, and the Raiders come in at 0-1.
Yes, and we apologize for not having for you a pre-game on the field like we normally would, but there's a little fear about weather tonight, and when you got the kind of electronics that we would have to have down on the field, you're a little leery about setting stuff up, especially if you happen to be the guy down on the table. So Morgan Smith wisely decided probably it's not a good idea to tempt fate and flirt with the potential of being electrocuted.
So we do apologize. I know a lot of people enjoy the pregame activities on game day down on the field, and hopefully we'll have that back next time we're here in Longview. But in lieu of that, we're going to get started. We've already had some activities down on the field that weren't related to game day. They had the mini twirlers.
Yes.
And
how many were there?
Well, there were many twirlers down there, and they were performing a routine, so congratulations to them. One of the great traditions here at Longview is the majorettes. And so congratulations to them on having a big turnout for the young people out on the field.
All right, well, our game tonight is for the Lobos, maybe a little bit of a preemptive strike before next week's huge matchup, as we're going to go on the road to take on number 3 Highland Park. But they got to get some business out of the way tonight. Wylie East is no slouch, come in with a 2-2 record. Raiders 0-1 in district play, like we talked about just a second ago, losing to Sherman last week 38-17. They're an improved squad from probably the group that the Lobos saw last year when they got up on them early and just beat them down 52-17, a 31-0 first half lead for Longview before that game finally leveled out a little bit in the second half. But Raiders didn't even get across the 50-yard line until late in the third quarter last season. The thought is this year they're a little bit better football team. Their coach, a little bit better coach maybe than they had in the past. But talking about their coach, he's not even here tonight. This is the second time in about 5 or 6 weeks we've done games, one of them for an Arkansas High game here in Longview. Marcus Gold apparently stricken by some concerns about COVID. He didn't make the trip, and so one of the assistant coaches, Jay Rose, is actually the coach tonight. He's going to get his head coaching debut on the road in Longview against the Lobos.
Yeah, he is actually the associate head coach, so no big deal for him to step in. And you're right, this is a East team, Wylie East team that doesn't have a lot of traditions, only about 10 years old. They haven't been around long. Wylie High for many years was the lone high school up in an area right outside of Plano, Texas. If you're not familiar with the Collin County area, Wylie High sits there right outside the big city of Plano now, and kind of over by Lucas Lovejoy. Good tradition in Collin County for football. When you talk about schools like Allen and Plano, you know they know about winning football, but this is still a school that is very young.
Yeah, Coach Gold in his first year here. Again, he's not in attendance tonight, but he started to put together a program that has just struggled mightily. Last 3 years, they were 5-24. They did not win a district game in those 3 years. Mike Dormady had been the head coach. He stepped aside at the end of the year last year, and so Marcus Gold, who had been the head coach at White House for the past 3 years, had won 23 games there and had taken White House to the playoffs all 3 years in 5A. Got this job. He got off the ground with a great start. He won his first 2 games here at Wylie East, beating Mount Pleasant 19-14, Irving Nimitz 29-28. They lost at Royce City 2 weeks ago, and then had the loss at Sherman to open up district. But they are, again, markedly better than the Wylie East teams that we've seen in the past. And a lot that's going to happen for them tonight is going to hinge on the success of number 1. That's the guy we're keeping an eye on. That is Terrell Washington Jr. He does it all. He's the team's leading passer. He's the team's leading rusher. He's the team's leading wide receiver. And you heard that right. He's the leader at all three of those statistical categories. Where number one is and how number one does is going to dictate the success for the Raiders tonight.
Yeah, I watched a little video this week. They run out of the pistol offense. It's a variation of the spread. Typically, they don't have the back right beside the quarterback in video I watched. They have him back almost as deep as the I back for the Lobos. He's usually sitting off to the side and back a little bit, gives him a little bit of a running start. When they do hand the ball off, they do a lot of zone read type stuff, but a little different from the spread we see from Longview, where typically the back is right there even with the quarterback. In the pistol, he's going to be backed up, and typically only the lone back. They don't run dual backs in the backfield typically as Longview. We've seen them do some in their spread formation. They typically have the single back.
So for the defense for the Lobos tonight, control one, you control the game. Don't control one. He ran for 160 yards against Sherman in the loss a couple of weeks ago. He has that kind of ability, averaging 12, 13 yards per carry. So he's the guy to keep an eye on.
Well, he's the kind of guy that if you do a good job covering his receivers and you think you're going to get off the field, he'll move the sticks with his feet, and he's also got the ability on design runs to take it to the house if you don't get him early on as he crosses the line of scrimmage.
Last Thursday night, the Lobos went on the road over to Mesquite, took on West Mesquite, jumped out to a 14-0 lead. Looked like they were going to run away with a game that all of a sudden, on the misfortune of a bad pitch with a 14-0 lead in West Mesquite territory, got returned the other direction for a 68-yard touchdown. That game ended up tied at halftime, 21-21. Lobos came out of the locker room in the second half, went on a 35-7 scoring advantage in half number 2, and won that game running away last week, 56-28. A not happy coach for a lot of reasons last week. 3 more turnovers last week, 14 penalties last week, and Coach King was not happy with the performance. A game he thought we should have had well in hand, and a lot of reserves should have been playing in the second half.
Well, if you take the bad pitch out of it, I thought in many ways it was Jordan Allen's best game. He had a nice night. What was he, like 12 for 15 passes?
10 for 13.
10 for 13. What, he had about 240 yards, 245 yards. Nice night throwing the ball. Had some really nice runs that he scored on a long run. So if you took that one play that so much changed the dynamic of the first half, there was no way I'd have thought at 14-0 that game was going to be 21-all at the half, but yet it was.
It was indeed. Jalen Hale had a huge game last week. 4 catches, 148 yards, 3 touchdowns. He moves ahead of Malcolm Kelly as number 3 all-time for touchdown receptions for a Lobo for a career. He's just got 2 guys in front of him now. Jalen Brown with 22, Camden Perry with 23. Jalen's got 21 now.
Well, he's everything we expected to see. I accidentally called him a 4-star. Some people call him 5 stars. He's just an outstanding receiver. He's one of the best high school receivers you're ever going to see. And I tell you what, you can miss on the throw, underthrow, overthrow. It doesn't matter. Somehow Jalen Hale finds a way to go get the ball. He can be among defenders or whatever, but he is like a quarterback's best friend.
We'll put up some stupid numbers for you real quick before we move on. Since it's green out tonight, Lobos are 17-2 in green out games. This will be the 20th year they've done this. They have won 25 of their last 26 games here at Lobo. And go crazy here for a minute. Go all the way back to the beginning of John King's reign here. They're 79-6 at home. Those are crazy numbers. Lobos are looking for their 199th victory here at Lobo as well tonight. So there's big numbers that the Lobos present for Wylie East to try to overcome tonight.
Well, you only have to go back 2 weeks when they had a great victory here when they ended the Bryant's 32-game winning streak, 3-time Arkansas State champion in the biggest division in the state of Arkansas. Just a tremendous homecoming victory a couple of weeks ago here at Lobo.
Lobos come in as the number 4 team in the state of Texas in 5A Division I. And tell you what, we're going to shoot down to the field real fast and give you a couple of minutes of video. We'll hop back up here and talk some more in just a sec. All righty. Well, that was quick. They didn't do a whole lot down there like we expected.
Well, they did have, I think that was middle school teams run through, and you always want to congratulate them. By the way, the Longview JV won again last night. They're 5-0 on the year. Pretty impressive run for the JV. You're always wondering what you've got down on the farm. It looks pretty good in Longview if you look at what they did. By the way, volleyball this week had a huge win Tuesday night over the crosstown rival Pine Tree. I think they were 11-11 against Pine Tree in their last 22 matches.
Nice.
And Longview won the other night in a 3-game set.
Yep. Here come both teams actually timing this exactly at the same time. Raiders start their run through, and half of them decided not to go at the same time the Lobos came running out.
Well, they're going to do a singular, more individual run through. They've got an impressive blow-up toy over there. You got to give them credit for that. The Raiders came in big with the toy set.
Yeah, very impressive. All right, for a second, let's do this. Longview comes in 4-1. We've mentioned they're number 4 in the state right now, having lost the opener against Denton Orion, who's still sitting atop 5A. They're still the number 1 team in the state. Marshall, of course, Tyler Legacy, Bryant, and last week West Mesquite. This is the Wylie East game. This will be game number 6 on the schedule before we see Highland Park. Already, this district has played its other games. They played last night. Highland Park with a win over Sherman, 35-17, and McKinney got that West Mesquite team we saw a week ago. Got a 209-yard running day from Jaden Smith, and McKinney wins this game 45-38 last night. That's a game tied at halftime, 24 apiece.
That's McKinney North, right?
Yeah, McKinney North.
McKinney North, who, I'll be honest, I expected West Mesquite to win that ball game going in because McKinney North has not had a good non-district schedule, but Sherman is a little Jekyll and Hyde, to be honest.
Yeah.
They look good one week, not so good the next. 35-17 is not an embarrassing loss to a pretty good Highland Park team.
Well, and we'll do it this way. It was 20-17 with about 4 minutes left in the third quarter.
Well, that's
Highland Park had a good fourth quarter to finish them off.
Yeah, that's a good showing for the Bearcats last night.
All right, so that's up to speed scores on what was going on. As this Lobo team gets ready to take the field, we get this couple of trending things. One, the Lobos come out fast, 38-22. They've outscored opponents in the first. They end fast, 49-17. They've outscored opponents in the fourth. They don't like the second quarter. They've been outscored 49-33 in the second quarter, so we seem to lose a little focus. John King and I talked before the game, and Coach said, we're kind of like the soccer team that gets up 2-0. And all of a sudden you lose focus. How about the school song going on down on the field right now?
And a salute to the first responders, emergency personnel, and the countless volunteers for their courage and commitment in the rescue and recovery efforts. Thank you. And now the Lobo Band will play our national anthem.
another outstanding rendition, national anthem. Thank you, Longview Lobo Band.
It's very cool. They do America the Beautiful first, and followed by the national anthem.
Yep.
That's the tradition.
Yep.
Just like we get Lee Greenwood after the game tonight. It's one of the cool traditions here at Longview High School. The other tradition is they win a lot of football games.
They're going to try to win another one here tonight. Again, a little bit of a depleted Wylie East thanks to not having their coach tonight. Again, if you're just hopping on with us, he's got some COVID symptoms, and as a result, thought it best not to make the trip. And so he did not, and they are going to be without the head guy anyway tonight, just 5 games into his tenure. They're about to bring the captains out for the tossing of the coin. Let's do this as we get ready for that. Longview last week with the win over West Mesquite. How about a balanced night? 492 yards of total offense, 245 on the through the air, 247 on the ground. Again, we talked about turnovers, penalties were the negatives, but Jarrett Lewis with 195 yards on 20 carries. Isaiah Harris added 15 carries and 90 more yards, and an unbelievable 1-2 tandem. And that's still without Taylor Tatum, who now is back in the lineup. He will not start tonight, but he's in the lineup to play tonight, so we'll be looking forward to that.
Our captains are on the field. We got Zakari Moon, Christian Arnett, Jesse Fairchild, and Leonard Epps for our hometown Lobos. And on the far side, Josh Hollingsworth and Terrell Washington Jr., the captains for the Raiders.
Yeah. This is going to be a different look offense for John King tonight. Not that he's intending it to be, but the offensive line, again, is decimated. We have not had 2 consecutive games with the same starting 5, and we'll talk about it as we go. Lobos won the toss. They're going to defer to the second half, which means they will kick off. Well, I say that. They will kick off. Yes.
Yeah.
Wylie East has decided. Sometimes you see a team go, no, we'd like to kick the ball off twice. First and second half.
You don't see that often.
Not very often, but I have seen that accidentally happen before.
That's an accident. You're correct, sir.
All right, so the Lobos will kick off to begin the game tonight, which means the defense is going to get on the field first. So let's start with their starters. Billy Smith, Leonard Epps, and Jesse Fairchild are the starting defensive line tonight for the Lobos. Jeremiah Rugley, Devin Isaac, Caden Brooks, and yes, Tadarian Boone is scheduled to be back in the starting lineup after missing the last couple of weeks. Willie Nelson, Jaden Simmons are the corners. Chase Smith, Kylan Sublett are the safeties. Buda Garrett out with an injury tonight, so he just gotten back in the starting lineup. Looked like he was ready to go, and now we're back in the direction of, nope, he's banged up again, and he's not going to be able to go tonight.
Our officials for this evening, the referee is going to be James Cranford. Our umpires, James Ross. Our head linesman, Rick Myers. Our back judge is Fast Eddie Reckworth. Side judge, Keith Posley. And field judge, Scott Satterfield.
All right. Michael Fields will tee things off. We are about ready to go. How about week number 6 underway here at Lobo? The opening kick is going to go all the way back to the 5-yard line. It'll be grabbed at the 5. That's Cheris Jackson. He's across the 10, going far side of the field, the 20, and has scored it out of bounds at about the 23-yard line. And that is where the Raiders are set to begin.
Yeah, I had a little extracurricular. I'll tell you what, one of the Lobos sure looked like he got held on the far side, and he and the accused holder got into it over there. One of them lost a helmet. I don't know if we drew a flag on that or not. They're going to have to sort that out before we spot the ball here.
Jeremiah Bragg was the Lobo on the tackle. We're getting a little bit of a little hum or a buzz or something, aren't we?
Yeah, we got a hold on the play as we expected. So we apologize for the
We got a field mic.
Sound
we got a field mic that's having some feedback, so we'll deal with that. But yes, there was a penalty on the play. And so things are going to move back to about the 9-yard line. That is where the Raiders are going to begin today.
They'll come out in the gun formation, or pistol, excuse me.
And the quarterback, again, is Terrell Washington. Keep an eye on him. We'll set up the rest of their offense as we get ready to roll. It's Marcus Harbert, at left tackle. Dalton Autry, left guard. Zane Brown is the center. Lee Garcia, the right guard. Michael Opara is the right tackle. On first down, it is going to be a handoff, and this is going to bounce outside. That's Brandon Nurse, the tailback. He was on around the 15-yard line for a gain of about 6.
Yeah, you don't use the term tailback very often in the spread, but we mentioned before the game, this is a pistol-type formation where you do have that back, further back like you would a tailback. This time a more traditional side-by-side spread formation.
A second down and about 4. Nurse is the tailback in this offense traditionally. He doesn't have that many carries, just 47 for 197 yards. Again, the leader is Terrell Washington. We'll get on to him in a second. On second down and 4, it's again going to be a handoff. Again, it's going to be Nurse. This time near side of the field as he's taken down at the 19-yard line. Very close to first down yardage. On the tackle that time for the Lobos is Caden Brooks.
I thought it was Jaden Simmons, but either way, good job by maintaining containment most of the way. Well, now they're going to give him the first down.
Yep, so they got the 4 yards. And after 2 running plays, a little 10 yards pickup in the first down of this game. The receivers for the Raiders, Kyle Malden and Rashawn Washington, Cheris Jackson and Tristan Lee will all kind of split out. Watch for Maddox Fraley. He's number 20. He's going to be the tight end, if there is such a thing, or maybe the wing is a better way to describe it.
Yeah, sometimes they'll line them up there in an H-back formation. Sometimes they do look more like a wing.
So first down and 10 for the Raiders, and before they get going, we've got whistles blowing and a timeout taken by the Raiders. So they burned their first one just, a minute and 11 seconds into this game.
Well, when you gain a first down like that on the first series, you hate to give 5 yards right away, put your offense at 1st and 15. That time they had Christian Williams come to the lineup as an H-back there behind the left side of the offensive line.
Let's give you the defensive coaching staff for the Lobos. John Berry's the DC. Josh Rankin takes care of safeties and special teams. Scott Hart, the linebackers coach. Brandon Bonds, Pat House, Trevor Murphy take care of the defensive line for Longview. Let's do Terrell Washington for a second. For the year, he's thrown for 177 yards, 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, completing just 35% of his passes. He's run for 559 yards on 64 carries. That's about a 9-yard average. And he's caught 9 balls for 132 yards, averaging about 14 yards a catch. And on first down, he's again going to hand off inside. His 3 straight running plays, and a late flag gets thrown off the rear end of Jeremiah Rugley after a gain of about 3 maybe for Nurse. We'll see what the flag is.
Yeah, we'll see as the Whitehead, Jim Cranford says it's going to be a personal foul face mask. It's unfortunate. That's going to be the 15-yarder. And tell you what, this first drive is getting jump-started right now for the Raiders.
Yeah, and they called Chase Smith on the face mask, so they'll tack 15 on top of the 3-ish yard gain and move it out to about the 38-yard line, 37-yard line.
Tell you what, Wylie East must have saw something in the film this week that make them think they can run on the Lobos.
So it'll be first down at the 36. As Terrell Washington takes a peek over to the sideline. They're going to do this an awful lot tonight. Colby Atkins is in the slot far right. And on first down, we'll get our first carry from Washington. Lobos all over him after a gain of maybe 2, 3 at the most. Looked like Leonard Epps makes the tackle on that one. It's going to be second down in about 8.
Well, you mentioned in the pregame that he's their leading rusher. That looked just like an old-fashioned student body left to the near side, and not a lot there for Washington.
All right, so second down and 8. And again, they're going to take the long look over.
They like to come to the line, let their coaches see what they have, and then make the call at the line of scrimmage.
Lobos going to flip a lot of defenders in on the defensive line. We'll start trying to keep a better job of see who we're getting in there. Smith on the pass rush. He's driven way outside. Now Washington's going to pull it down and gets in some trouble at the 35-yard line, and he is gang tackled there. Caden Brooks was one of the 2 guys in. The other looks like it was Tadarian Boone in on his first tackle since his return from injury.
Yeah, Boone didn't make the tackle, but he's the one that made the quick read when the quarterback made the decision to run the ball, and was the first one to slow him down. And good to see Boone back in there after a couple of weeks of no action. He's a guy that's very quick to get to the football.
All right, so we're going to have a second down in a bunch. We'll make it third, actually. Third down and 10. And on the pass inside, that's caught at about the 45-yard line. The reception that time by Cheris Jackson, who gets far enough for the first down up at around the 48, 49-yard line.
Good job that time by Washington. He found the soft spot in the defensive coverage, makes the rollout to the right, and finds a wide open receiver.
Yep. First catch actually crosses the 50. They push him back at the end of that up to about the 47, 48-yard line of Longview.
Once again, they come to the line of scrimmage and wait for the coaches. They probably have someone in the booth who makes the read and relays it to the sideline, and then they send it onto the field.
So on first down and 10, Lobo 48. We're going to go back running game. This is Nurse. He'll bust this one outside and be taken down at about the 42-yard line. That's Simmons with the tackle. Jaden Simmons kind of by himself makes the ankle tackle after a gain of about 6, almost 7 yards.
Yeah, Simmons had to make the play because Kobe Atkins did a good job of setting the block. It wasn't a whole lot more than just a screen like you would in basketball, but he got the body on body and allowed the running back to get to the edge.
We'll have second down and about 4 coming up now.
Good start offensively here for the Raiders.
This drive started back on the 9-yard line. They have moved it across the 50 now. On second down and 4 at the 42-yard line. Play clock going down to 0 right when they snap, and there's the whistle. They may have not made it before 0.
I think they got a timeout in fear that they weren't going to make it. We talked about Jay Rose, the assistant head coach. When you're not used to being that guy, everybody on that sideline's looking to you. Are you going to call timeout, Coach? Coach, we need to call timeout. Well, Jay Rose there at the last second decided to. May have wasted a timeout. Looked like they were going to get the play off.
Well, we're on the first drive of the evening, and already Wylie East has burned 2 of their timeouts.
Well, in both cases, I think the first one they had to call it or they would have got the 5-yard penalty on first down right after they picked up their very first down of the drive. This time, you're really in 4-down territory. Not sure I would have even risked the timeout, but as we mentioned, this is a little different situation for Jay Rose. He's having to make decisions he doesn't make every Friday night.
Yeah, but that 5-yard penalty potentially puts you, if you don't think you're getting it off, 2nd and 10. Instead, they're still playing with that 2nd and 4, 2nd and 5.
Yeah, but you got 3 downs to pick it up, and now you got 1 timeout left in the half.
So on second down, man in motion, low snap. Washington's got it. He's going to throw far side. Well, it's intercepted, and off goes Willie Nelson to the 30, to the 20. They're not going to catch him, and the Lobos take a 6-0 lead on the 60-yard interception return for Willie Nelson.
Well, Willie may have got a little jersey right before he returned that. I think you could have called defensive holding or pass interference, either one, but I think Willie got away with it. He was on the inside. The wing official couldn't see it.
See where he catches this ball exactly. It's at about the 38 or 9-yard line. So if we're being really accurate, probably a 61 or 62-yard interception. Let's see if we get another view where we can see where his feet actually caught the ball on that replay. Point after try up and good from field. So it's a 7-0 Lobo lead. 7:07 to play in the first quarter. Checking us out here on Game Day.
At Godarzi and Young, we take things more seriously.
Every case that's handled at our office is handled by a team. That work and dedication has caused our office to recover more record verdicts and settlements than any other law firm in Northeast Texas.
It is our obligation to make sure our client has the financial backings and the manpower to be successful.
We are exactly who we say we are. We're trial lawyers who've gotten results year in, year out.
What looked like a pretty good drive by the Raiders gets stymied, and we were watching the replay up here just a second ago, and may have gotten a little bit of jersey before the interception, but that was not called, and Willie Nelson takes the 60, officially 2-yard interception to give the Lobos a 6-0 lead.
Yeah, it was a great drive that resulted in points for the Lobos. If you're the Raiders, everything was going great. You call a timeout, you bring your second timeout, and then you look up and you're down 7-0. That's got to be heart-wrenching.
Well, yeah. And for Willie Nelson, the interception, I believe, is his 2nd of the year now. And the interceptions are coming fast and furious for the Lobos. They picked up 4 last week. We had a couple last week by Chase Smith. Drake Mayfield had one last week. And we start off things tonight. And of course, Devin Isaac got one, his second of the year. So Willie Nelson with a defensive touchdown. Lobos get the lead. Pooching kick will go out of bounds by Fields at around the 30-yard line.
Yeah, Coach King and his staff won't be happy with that. Fields, you got to get that thing up. You got to get somebody to either call a fair catch or just field the ball. You can't kick it out of bounds and give it to him at 35 like that.
So they'll tack 5 yards on the end of that. And they'll put the ball on the 35-yard line. That is where Wylie East will start their second possession. They had the ball for about the first 5 minutes of this game. And one play, the Lobos get the lead. We still haven't seen the Lobo offense yet. And here we go back to work on defense, 35-yard line. Terrell Washington back in there at quarterback. We'll be seeing a lot of Jaden Hubbard eventually. Hubbard's the backup quarterback and a junior. He's the guy who's going to probably throw the ball more than Washington. First down, it's going to be a handoff inside to their tailback, who may get back to the line of scrimmage, and that is about all she wrote. As a second back, that's Christian Williams, who's the running back on this possession.
They look really good running the ball on that first drive, but when you give them an opportunity to bring the defensive line to the sideline, bring those linebackers in, make an adjustment, it gets a little more difficult.
I actually went back to Nurse for the carries. A loss of 1 by Nurse, second down and 11. As we've got 6:35 left to play here in the first quarter. 7-0 Lobos. If you're just coming on board, 62-yard interception return. Another handoff to a Nurse. And tell you what, the Lobo defense, which gave up some gashing runs to start, has tightened up things a bunch. We've had 2 carries and no gain for Nurse, and it's 3rd down and 10.
Well, you just kind of get the sense during the extra point and kickoff, defensive coaches got their players over there and said, all right, here's what they're doing. That time you saw Chase Smith, the safety, come almost all the way up to the line of scrimmage right before the snap.
Well, and before we do that, there's holding. That was called on Wylie, so they're going to mark them back instead. Instead of it being 3rd and 10, we'll still back to 2nd down. Well, I say that. They marked them all the way back and then decided, no, we're going to decline it after all.
Yeah, Coach King just says, no thank you, we'll let them go with is it 2nd and long or 3rd and long?
Well, 3rd and long now.
Yeah, I was going to say, we haven't changed the box over there.
Yeah,
There. Finally changed the box.
So 3rd down and 10 now. 6:22 left to play in the first quarter. This is the position Wylie East did not want to be in, having to be forced to throw the football. They do not throw often, and they do not throw well. Back to pass Washington. Pressure coming. Screen to Nurse up the middle, and that is blown up in a hurry. And the first guy there, Tadarian Boone.
Yeah, great job that time. Unfortunately, we've got a player down on the field for the Lobos. We'll see what that is. Boy, you always get nervous when you see a young man out there in the middle of the field by himself. I think that's Sublet out there.
Yeah, it's Sublet, it's down. And of course, we're not going to get the camera on injured players as they come out to take a look at Kylan, but he is the player down right now. So with the clock stopped with 6:04 left to play in the first quarter, it's a 7-0 lead. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back here in 30 seconds on Longview Game Day.
And now at Orr, we want to buy your used vehicle and we'll give you guaranteed top dollar for yours. And if you prefer to trade, even better, with massive savings on every new vehicle at Orr Cadillac GMC in Longview.
All right, so Kylan Sublet coming off the field. Looks like we're going to, well, we'll have to check because it's actually 4th down and 10. And we'll see who the replacement's going to be. Maybe that's Seneric Bivens, who may be the backup that's checking in. He is on our 2 deep. Punting time, though, for the Raiders. Snap is good. Punt's on the way, and it doesn't roll over, stays up, and is caught. Willie Nelson, that's DeKalen Taylor, who catches it at the 32-yard line, and it crosses the 50, out to almost the 45-yard line of Wylie East. The offense will come out for the first time with more than 6 minutes gone in the game and already a 7-0 lead and great field position.
Yeah, great job that time by the return team. They had them positioned perfectly. Tell you what, that time Taylor only had to move about a step or two, and the ball came right to him, and he got a nice running start and an excellent return.
Yeah, all the way out to the 46-yard line of Wylie East. So the Lobos offense comes out for the first time tonight. And on first down, how about a pass? This one's thrown toward Jalen Hale a little early. There's a flag down middle of the field. He threw that, did quarterback Jordan Allen just a touch early, and I don't think Hale was expecting it. It was on him as he was making his break.
Yeah, I'm not even sure everybody's on the same page. You had an offensive lineman who went downfield on that. Somebody was anticipating a run and went downfield. Hale doesn't miss many balls, but as you said, he kind of just turned around and it was there.
So we take off the incomplete. They're actually going to call the penalty instead. That's going to be on Longview, so the 5-yard penalty for ineligible receiver downfield. So we'll go back across the 50. How about another pass play? Allen completes this one out on the far side of the field near the 45-yard line, and that's going to be advanced to about the 38, where 3rd down and 4's coming up.
Yeah, that was Hamilton with the catch on the far side right there in front of the Wylie bench, and nice chunk they got back, makes it a very manageable 2nd and 4 now.
All right, so second down. Let's talk about the offense for the Lobos, and since you mentioned him, Amarian Hamilton getting the start today at wide receiver. He and Hale are going to be the starting receivers as they're both split out to the right on what is now a 2nd down and 4. After Hamilton, just his 2nd catch of the season, by the way. Into the ground go the Lobos. It's Jarrett Lewis. He's got the first down, 30-yard line, and falls forward to the 25 for a first as he rumbles for about 13 yards.
Lewis did not start the season as the feature back in this offense, but was given an opportunity with Tatum's injury. Looks very good these days, and no surprise that he's starting off tonight like he has the last couple of weeks.
All right, so first down for the Lobos at the 26-yard line. That's where they'll mark it after Lewis's carry.
Isaiah Harris is the feature back this time.
Harris went for 90 last week in the win, and on this one, he's going to set up the block. They'll complete this one out far side of the field, and that's Taylor. That's going to be, let's see, at about the 22, 23-yard line. Gain of about 4 on the play, and it's 2nd down and 6.
Yeah, now we got a Raider down on the field, so we'll have a little momentary delay. That time, little bubble screen over there, and good job by the safety coming up making the play on Taylor and keeping that to about a 4 or 5 yard gain.
They blew that thing up before it could get out of control because it was about to be.
Yeah, it was a good block that time. Hale made an excellent block on the corner in front of him, but the safety came over the top and made a good play.
So we still are tending to an injured player. It's down at around the 23-yard line for Wylie East.
Something you don't like to see. Here we are in the 2nd week of district. You don't want to be losing players this time of year. So.
No, you don't. And they are just now getting him up and on his way. So they'll get back to play here in just a second. For the Lobos, it's going to bring up 2nd down and about 6 at the 22-yard line.
And as we often see, Jordan Allen over talking to Coach King. He likes to bring his quarterbacks over to him in between plays when he can. Unless they're just down by the goal line, he's usually out there to talk to them.
All right, on 2nd down, Lobos will split a couple of guys out to the far side, carrying Jatavian Wright rather in the game for the first time. Hale in motion, handoff Lewis right up the middle, got a seam, 15, spun down at the 11, 1st down and 10. Lobos on the tackle that time. I believe that was carrying Alexander on the tackle for the Raiders.
Lewis looking very good early here. He's going to rotate back out. One of the things we've talked about the last month or so when we've been doing these broadcasts on Longview Game Day is you do not know what you're going to get from play to play as far as an offensive alignment from the Lobos. They'll go straight eye sometimes. They'll go in the gun. Tonight it's been mostly out of the gun.
All right, 1st down and 10 at the 11. Quarterback Jordan Allen back to his right. He's going to hand off as a sweeping Hale comes from left to right. Fumbled the ball into the end zone. They're going to say he was down outside the goal line at about the half-yard line where it's going to be another first down, first and goal for Longview.
Yeah, wing official's going to say the ground caused the fumble, and so no turnover. Jet sweep, turns it up in. It will go down, and yeah, it's typical. The ball hits and bounces out. And good spot by the official. It was not in the end zone when his backside hit the turf.
I believe that's the first carry for Hale this season. So it's first down and goal. That offensive line, will get to him eventually here. DeQuaylen Vaughn, Christian Arnett, Tavion Morgan, Blair Williams, and Jax Norman from left to right. 4 different starters from a week ago in different positions. There's Lewis going in from a yard away, and it's a 13-0 lead for the Lobos with 3:10 left to play in the first quarter.
Well, they march down the field in the spread offense, but once they get down short, they go under center. Power I, full back in, just power that thing in for 6 points, and they'll be looking to add the extra point here.
Here comes Michael Fields back on. His holder, Isaiah Harris. Short snapper is typically Mongo Williams. He's injured. There's a kick up and good to make it a 14-0 lead. So with 3:10 left to play in the first quarter, Lobos in familiar position, up by 2 scores. Quick break. We'll come back in 30 seconds on Game Day.
Don't fumble when you're looking for your next trailer. At R&J Trailers, we got the hookup. Cargo Mate, Hallmark, Text Line, Diamond C. We've got the inventory selection to get you into the end zone. Snap into savings with R&J Trailers. Don't pass up on the best deals around. R&J Trailers in Longview and online at rnjtrailers.com. We've got the hookup.
We welcome you back to Longview Game Day. We remind folks you can find us on YouTube, on Facebook, and share. Tell people where the game is, invite them to watch us, and share it with your friends. Sharing's caring.
It is.
All right, here's Fields for the third kick of the night in the first quarter. This one's going to come down to about the 5-yard line, gathered in there in the middle of the 15, 20, 25, and then bounced down at about the 28-yard line.
Well, the staff wasn't happy with his effort at the pooch kick, so they'll go deep. And nice return, but still better than what they had last time when they started at the 35.
And we remind you, I mentioned the other, don't forget the app. We've got a Longview Game Day app as well that you can be part of, and it's more than just the games on there as well. It scores, it's other stuff going on.
That's where it's happening.
Oh, thank you. First down, 28-yard line. New quarterback in the game, that is Jaden Hubbard. Not a surprise. Now watch where number 1 is, because he's going to be looking for Terrell Washington. Washington in the slot, far side of the field. He's the guy in motion right now. And on first down, they're going to use him as a decoy, as a handoff to Nurse, who goes for about 9 out to the 37-yard line.
Yeah, as you described, a whole lot of smoke screen going on there as they had Washington out wide, faked a jet sweep, and then just ran a dive right up the middle.
How about they go all the way for 10? Not for 9, for 10. So first down on the carry by Nurse. And we'll go same kind of thing. Hubbard's still in there at quarterback. This game began with a pretty good drive by the Raiders, stymied by a pick 6 by Willie Nelson from 62 yards away. There again goes Washington in motion, and again a handoff inside, and Lobos very ready that time as they stop that thing up for no gain. At the bottom of that, Zarius Shepard, the sophomore defensive lineman, who's in there on the tackle. And with him, I believe it was maybe Omarion Watkins.
Well, they should have been ready for it. It was the same play, just sent the man in motion the opposite direction. Once again, a little smoke show there to try to draw their attention away from the dive play.
Second down and 10. For the numbers on Jaden Hubbard, he's 12 of 25 on the year. 48% of his passes have been completed. 172 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Man in motion again. This time he goes back to pass. Sets up the screen, caught by one arm by Nurse. Breaks a couple of tackles, but not enough to get away. He's taken down right at the line of scrimmage at about the 38-yard line. And it's going to bring up third down and 10.
Yeah, as you described, fancy catch that time by Nurse, but when he caught it, he had a lot of traffic he was trying to negotiate through and never got it going.
So little or nothing on that, and it brings up third down, and they've still got the full 10 to go.
It's twice they've run that screen, just haven't gotten it going yet.
Hubbard stays in there at quarterback. They'll send 3 receivers out to the right this time, see if they keep them all there. And boy, Longview wants to blitz. Boone's already starting to go. Play clock still got 10 seconds on it, as we're under a minute left to play here in the first quarter. With 3 Lobos sneaking up. Here they come. They got Hubbard and he got away. And he'll dump one middle of the field. That is caught, and then the ball comes loose and fallen on by one of the Raiders back at the 43-yard line. Jarris Jackson had the catch at the 45. He was going to be shy of the first down anyway.
It was going to be right there at the first, and I think they would have probably gone for it now. It'd be a gutsy move for a guy, Jay Rose, who's not the normal head coach, to go for it right here.
Yeah, well, you're right. He was right at the first down marker, but that ball's popped out of there. I did not get the number of the Lobo that made that hit, but it is 4th down and 4 back at the 44-yard line.
Nelson and Taylor will drop back. We saw this last time. Twin return men.
They will be standing at about their 25-yard line. Long delay. They're going to take the play clock all the way down to 1-0, and they don't get it off in time. And here finally comes the whistle as it comes from the ref back here behind the 2 return men for the Lobos.
Yeah, you kind of wonder if they were doing a hard cadence to try to draw the Lobos off to pick up the first down. They decided they would risk the 5 yards where they're at. They can still let the punter kind of air it out, but they probably came to the line and maybe had one of the up men with a hard cadence to try to draw the Lobos off. They're going to take a timeout here.
Yeah, and that's going to be number 3. So with just
I think they called this on the Lobos.
Oh, all right. Lobos take theirs with just a few seconds. In fact, 0.2 seconds left in the first quarter. So I think it wasn't a timeout. They may be flipping sides of the field. Yeah, we're going to take a 30-second break. Coming right back on Game Day.
Howdy, East Texas. Neil McCoy here for Patterson Nissan in Longview, home of the free lifetime warranty. Shopping for a pre-owned vehicle has never been easier. Just head over to PattersonCars.com and you'll find over 1,400 quality pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs, many certified pre-owned and backed by the Patterson Lifetime Warranty. And you can buy with confidence because each one has to pass a 167-point inspection before it's listed for sale. Log on and find your new-to-you pre-owned car, truck, or SUV at PattersonCars.com.
Lobos this season.
All right, we are back. Yes, indeed, that was the end of, well, I say all that. Let's see what they're going to do here. They started flipping them over, and now they're going back and saying, well, was there still some time left on the clock?
Let's see what the Whitehead has to say. Said a timeout called by Longview.
Yeah. No, you're right. They had run the clock down. I'm looking at the scoreboard clock, though, and they ran it all the way down to 0.
When you score as many points as Longview does in the first quarter, you call the timeout so you can put some more points on the board here in the first quarter.
Yeah, with 0.2 of a second left to play in the first quarter. Longview takes timeout, so we're going to get a punt anyway. Snap on the money, kick, whoa, straight up. This one's spinning weird, hits at the 42 and will be downed at about the 39, maybe the 38-yard line, and that's where we'll start quarter number 2.
All right, let's reconfigure here because that was a little strange that you do have a timeout.
Yeah.
With 0.2 of the seconds left in the first quarter. Really, the wind was not a factor on that punt, so you couldn't say, well, coach was thinking about that. I'm not real sure what coach was thinking about. I do think they had tried to draw them off sides. Now we're going to flip the ends of the field.
Yes. So it's a 14-0 ball game. The Lobos started this thing. Thank you for the interception, Willie Nelson. Got a short field after that on a good kick return by DeKalen Taylor and converted that into a touchdown drive. So they'll start their actual second possession of this game offensively at the 38-yard line as we start quarter number 2. And let's see if we're going to have any changes. I don't see any significant changes out there at all. So the same folks are out. And that means Isaiah Harris is next to Jordan Allen as we start the second quarter. First down and 10, 38-yard line. And it's back to pass for Allen. He's got a man caught over here far side of the field and driven out of bounds at the 49-yard line after a gain of about the full 10. That is the second tight end Jamerson Derensburg with the catch.
Good looking play that time. They pushed Hale downfield. He took the corner and the safety, so that allowed the tight end to drag across the middle wide open.
Josh Hollinsworth on the tackle.
When you came out that time, you wondered if they might take a shot with Hale. The safety kind of edged over there right before the snap.
All right, so ball's just shy of the 50. First down and 10 Lobos.
Under center.
Yeah, Allen's going to go back to center for the first time. He's got tailback behind him, but we're not going there. In a little trouble. Rolling to his right. Got some room. He's keeping this all the way, and he won't get back to the line of scrimmage. He's dumped about a yard shy of where things started. TJ Paradis on the tackle for the Raiders back at the 48-yard line.
Well, neither receiver went deep on the route, and so I'm not sure if he was expecting one of them to go downfield. But either way, he had to take off pretty quickly. We're talking about a makeshift offensive line tonight.
Yes.
Last time we were here, we saw the Lobos have a little trouble with the Bryant pass rush.
Second down and 11. Back under center goes Allen. We're again going to run a little jet sweep, and this is not going to get much. 50-yard line, maybe the 49 on the other side of midfield. Couple yard gain, make it 3. And that's Jalen Hale, who comes up a little bit gimpy looking.
A little tender as he rises from the ground that time. But Hale was on a reverse. And it's funny, when it's shotgun, we call them jet sweeps now. When we're under center, it's reverse. It looks a whole lot alike.
We've run this play twice. Once for 10 yards for Hale, where he got thrown down pretty hard and lost the ball. Second time for 3 yards, he falls, gets knocked down, and gets up gimpy. I don't know, I like that play much. This one's going to be a pass far side of the field. That you like more. That's Hale catching it. Just shy of the first down marker. We'll see where they mark this.
Well, it's going to be short enough that if Coach King wants to go for it, he probably will. And one would suspect at this end of the field, 14-0 lead, that is probably the intention here. They go probably big here and probably go back to that power eye and try to pick this up.
Yeah, he's about 2 yards shy of the first down at the 43-yard line. So 4th down and 2 coming up. First catch for Hale, I believe, this ball game.
Very tight formation.
4th and 2. Lewis the back. He's going to have the first down, the 40-yard line. Stood up as he crosses the 40, but he goes for a full 3, almost 4, and the Lobos will keep the ball.
Yeah, eventually they gang up and throw him backwards, but he gets the first down. We mentioned before the snap, no wideouts on that play. Everybody was in tight. It was just old-fashioned smash-mouth football with a 4th and 2, and Lobos pick it up, keep this drive alive.
Jarrett Lewis will check out on this play. We haven't seen Taylor Tatum yet, although we do know that he is listed as the number 2 tailback.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they don't need him tonight, will they bring him back before the Highland Park game?
Still do not have Elijah Johnson back, the backup fullback and tailback. First down, Allen rolling, throwing. That's Taylor that'll dive and catch it at the 17-yard line for another first down as they pick up 22.
Awkward throw going to his left. He kind of had pressure and kind of had to just throw the thing out of there, but was able to get enough on it. Taylor helped him out, and a big first down.
Yeah, they'll actually put him down on the 16, 15-yard line. A little better spot than we thought, but that's good for 24 yards and another Lobo first down.
Remind everybody, we do not expect to see Joshua Taylor, the other quarterback, tonight. It's going to be Allen's game this evening.
He and Andrew Tutt are the only 2 listed as the starters. 5 for 5 start for Allen. First down handoff to Lewis right up the middle. He's got a seam. He's got the 5. He's got the end zone. Touchdown Lobos from 15 yards away, and it's a 20-0 lead.
A real difference from a week ago when the Lobos jumped out 14-0, kind of shot themselves in the foot and ended up with a 21 all tie at the half. This time the Lobos execute, go down the field, punch the ball in, take the 20-0 lead we were expecting a week ago before the crazy pitch play.
Here's Michael Fields on again. Isaiah Harris is holder. Snap good. Kick up and good. 21-0 Lobos. 9:14 left to play in the first half. We'll take a break. You're watching this on Longview Game Day.
Printing your photos just got easier. Just pick your size, color, and favorite photo, and we'll do the rest. because your unforgettable moments are meant to be framed.
Over the last 10 years, our office has achieved many record verdicts and settlements. Our commitment has always been to outwork and outfight any opponent we have in whatever courtroom we find ourselves in.
At Godarzi & Young, we have settlements and verdicts that are unmatched. Whether you come face to face with the corporation or the insurance company, they know that if they don't justly compensate our clients, they're going to have to face the Godarzi & Young trial team in the courtroom.
Well, the Lobos made short work of that. 7 plays, 62 yards, 2 minutes, 47 seconds, 21-0 lead. Hey, a thing to pass along for you. Coach Shaka Jackson just sent me scores. Volleyball girls got down 2-0, got back and tied the thing up at 2 games apiece, and then lost in the 5th as they dropped a district match tonight to Sulphur Springs. But her words were fought really, really hard to get back. So after a win on Tuesday over Pine Tree in 3 games, they lose to Sulphur tonight in 5. Kickoff down to the 5, and boy, what coverage this time by the Lobos. That thing is stopped, and we got a little scrum going at the 30, but no harm, no foul. Not much that time on the return for Brandon Nurse, and Jacavian Curry with the tackle that time for the Lobos.
Yeah, great open field tackle by Curry that time. You mentioned excellent coverage. Tough sledding here for the Raiders. They had a good start tonight, but unfortunately an interception. Pick 6 turned this game around early in favor of the Lobos.
At first down at the 13-yard line. Looks like Hubbard's still in there at quarterback. He is. Jaden Hubbard, the junior. And of course, he and Washington both are juniors. Nurse, the lone guy in the backfield along with Hubbard. And he's waving to the sideline about something. Not sure what Nurse has going on. Washington in motion, high snap, handoff to Nurse up the middle, and he will not make the 15-yard line. Popped hard there, Devin Isaac. First guy in on the tackle, and it's going to be 2nd down and 8.
Well, since moving to receiver, Washington has been primarily a decoy thus far. They haven't tried to get the ball in his hands. They've showed like they're going to, but right now they still feel like they can run with Nurse against this Lobo defense.
Just a gain of 1, so 2nd and 9 for the Raiders. Again, as soon as they get in these long down situations, it's trouble. And now their best playmaker's not at quarterback, where if plays break down, he can make them with his legs. He's in the slot, 2nd down. Hubbard rolling right, chased and in trouble. All kinds of trouble. He's going to throw this one, picked off Chase Smith. 42-yard line. He'll step out of bounds across the 30, and the Lobos are back in business at the 24-yard line. 2nd interception of the night for the Longview defense.
Well, that's the 2nd series Hubbard's been in there, and I hate to jump to an early judgment, but they haven't looked very good with him at quarterback.
Yeah, Chase Smith with his 3rd interception in the last 2 weeks. That's about as easy as it's going to get. Steps in front of the receiver at the 40-yard line and returns it to the 24.
Yeah, Atkins was open for a moment, it looked like, but when he hung the ball up, it made for easy pickings for Smith.
And Longview's right back in business. This is the kind of start that Coach King was hoping for tonight. Get a chance to get some bodies in there as the Lobos go right back to work. 1st down and 10, 24-yard line. Handoff. That's Taylor Tatum, first carry of the day. He goes for 5 down to the 19.
Well, you and I talked on the way up this evening. Will he get some touches for Tatum? He's been out for since the Legacy game against Tyler Legacy. Figure he's a little rusty. Certainly a weapon you'll want to have a week from tonight against Highland Park. So here with a big lead early, they go back to the power I, which is kind of where we expect to see Taylor Tatum, and they feed the big sophomore on the very first play from scrimmage.
Tatum started the year 40 carries, 188 yards through the first couple of games. Shoulder got him out. He's been out for the last 3. They've been great games for Jarrett Lewis, and he's just another weapon to add to things. And on 2nd down and 5, this thing gets stood up and it goes nowhere. And it's going to bring up 3rd down and about 6. A loss of a yard that time as we get a 2nd carry for Taylor Tatum.
I think coming into the season, Coach King really thought Taylor Tatum was going to be his featured back. Kind of envisioned him as a 25, 30 time a game touches at the tailback position. Lewis has really been impressive in his time they've also evolved more as a passing team. And so not exactly what we expected, and I'm not real sure if it's what Coach King expected.
3rd down and 6 at the 20. One receiver, that's right. Handoff, second back, that's Tatum. He's got the 10, he's got the 5, and he's dropped down. Let's see if he got in. He did. He put the ball across at the end. He let up a little bit at the end of that run and almost got stopped shy of the goal line. Instead, he reaches it out and completes a 20-yard touchdown run, and the Lobos are up 27-0.
That's what we saw earlier in the year from Tatum. We saw a young man who makes good reads, has a nice burst when he hits the line of scrimmage, that good vision that you want that running back to have, see what's around him.
Tell you what, Caden Roshan almost caught him right at the end. He looked back to see where the defense was, if there was anybody. He didn't see senior linebacker Caden Roshan there, and we'll watch it again on the replay. He busts it right up the middle, and watch, he'll look back at the last second going, I'm clear, and there's Roshan down around his knees and got him down, just extending the ball in for the touchdown, and the Lobos have the 28-0 lead on the point after.
Well, I'll be honest, I think he took his foot off the gas. I think he thought he had broke free from the line of scrimmage and was just going to go into his touchdown trot. Next thing you know, he's got somebody wrapped around his leg. But either way, big score. If you're Coach King and his staff, good to have number 28 back after a couple of weeks.
3 plays, 24 yards following the Chase Smith interception. They do that in 2 minutes, 18 seconds, and the Lobos are up 28-0 with 6:37 left to play in the first half.
Well, it didn't look pretty early. As we mentioned, the Raiders had a attractive first drive. Everything looked great. Then Willie Nelson steps in front of the receiver, takes it to the house, and since then it's been all over.
Yeah. All right, well, Michael Fields, he's going to be one tired man tomorrow. He's been kicking a lot here in the first half. He got 4-point afters. We got 5 kickoffs, and that's the 5th one right now. This is a line drive to the 8-yard line. Snag there. That's Rashawn Washington, who will go across the 25 to about the 26-yard line. Tackle for the Lobos made by Syneric Bivens.
Line drive kick, those are usually pretty easy to return. Washington got a decent head of steam up, but eventually he's brought down, and the Raiders will return to form on the 27.
All right, so first down, and I am looking around, and I do not see Kylan Sublett back in there. We were looking earlier to see if he was going to be back in the game, so I am not seeing him. I'm seeing Omarion Wallace out there at the 40-yard line, who's come in for that safety spot. So it'll be first down at the 27-yard line. Kavian Curry also in there at cornerback. He's on the near side as he backs off a couple steps from the line of scrimmage. Back to Washington at quarterback, and he'll hand off again to Nurse to about the 31-yard line for a gain of 4.
Well, I think the Lobo defense respects Washington's running ability to the point that where it makes Nurse's job so much simpler. It just seemed like when Hubbard was in the game, that was not a concern of the Lobos.
No, not at all. DK Stanford, by the way, got the credit for the tackle that time. The senior comes into this game with 14 tackles. So second down and 6, 31-yard line. 3 receivers going to split wide side of the field, far side of the field. Lobos now can pin ears back, 28-0 lead. A lot of these defensive linemen are seeing sacks in their future. Instead, it's going to be Washington keeping it. He'll have the first down and lowers a shoulder as he goes across the 40-yard line. It's Omarion Wallace on the tackle out to the 44 as he goes for 15 and a first down.
By the way, Simmons not in there at the corner right now. We've got Jacavion Curry in there at this corner on the near side.
First down, 44-yard line. It's best offensive play that the Raiders have had in a while. And they're going to go back to the ground again. This time it's Nurse trying to sweep wide, and he's hit before the 50-yard line, powers to the 50. First guy there to get him was Jeremiah Braggs. A lot of backup defenders getting in this game now for the Lobos.
Braggs did a good job. By the way, we talked about Sublett's injury. He's on the training table right now with his leg propped up.
Ball on the Lobos side of the field. Quick little toss out that time. That is caught by 17. That's Colby Atkins, who will get a first down as they'll mark him down on the 40-yard line.
Tell you what, they just look a lot more lively on the offense when TWJ's in there at the quarterback.
All right, so they're picking pace up just a little bit. But still, they come back to the line of scrimmage to slow it down and get their play in from the sideline. They have not been terribly successful throwing the football, but they've got a first down here at the 40. Washington still in there at quarterback. Back to the ground they go. Back to Nurse, who makes a nice cut at the 40-yard line, but cannot shake the defender Boone over that way. And he's taken down after a short game. Chase Smith, the other defender, gained a 2, 2nd down and 8.
We've got 4:26 left here in the first half. Figure at this point it's 4-down territory for the Raiders, trailing 28-0.
Washington clapping the hands. Everybody sets, and then no, we're not. Back to the sideline they look.
This is a team that really likes to spread you out and run the football. They're in a pistol formation, but it is basically a run offense. It's what we've seen all night.
They're taking a long time down on the clock. Quick toss that time. That's caught far side of the field. Ball comes loose. It is on the ground, and did the Lobos get it? They did get it at the 40-yard line. And we'll see who got that recovery. It looks like it may be Omari and Wallace that came out of there with it. Boy, he has been impact since he's come into the game for Sublette. And we'll see the little toss. It's caught out far side of the field by Atkins. And then let's see who got the big hit on him. It's Wallace trying to come in there. The hit comes first, and that may be Wylie, isn't it? Willie Nelson hits the hit.
Yeah, I think Wylie makes the hit, and ball pops out, and at that point, a heads-up play by Wallace to get on it.
So quickly, another turnover. It'll be Longview ball at the 40-yard line. First down and 10, Lobos. Back to pass, deep throw. Hamilton's back there. He's got to come back, makes the catch, and goes down at the 23-yard line. First down, Lobos, after they grab another 37 yards.
I love the play call. They've got Hell in motion. So if you're back there in the secondary and you're seeing Hell in motion, you're thinking he's not fixing to take off on a post. Instead, they run Hamilton on the post, underthrown ball, but he does his best Jalen Hell imitation and goes up and gets the ball.
Hamilton, who had just one catch coming in to the evening, has had a couple here tonight. It's first down, Lobos at the 22-yard line. On first down, how about another throw? This one high, aiming for Hale near side of the field. It'll be second down and 10.
A little high that time. Hale done a little short hook play there and had a little bit of separation, but I'll be honest, he didn't seem very interested in exposing the ribs.
No, I don't blame him.
He's been a little tender moving since the play earlier where he ran the reverse.
Yeah. By the way, that reception was 38 yards for Hamilton. So far in this game, 2 catches, 45 yards. Second down and 10. Back to the ground they go. This is Harris to the 21-yard line. 3rd and 9 coming up.
Isaiah Harris in there at the tailback position that time. It's something we haven't had a lot to see this year. The kicker, Michael Fields, just hadn't had a lot of opportunities to kick field goals.
No.
Going into what could be tight ball game a week from now, might be interesting to see here if they don't pick up the first down, if Coach King would like to put a little pressure on Fields and see what he can do here right before the half.
3rd down and 9, 21-yard line. One receiver left, one right. Back to pass, Allen. Looking middle of the field. Instead, he throws one up. It was a little stop-start move, and there's Hale for the touchdown from 21 yards away. He has just tied the reception record for touchdowns with Jalen Brown at 22.
Tell you what, everybody in the place was expecting a pass, and Hale does his little double move. Gets a little bit of separation, but not a lot, but is able to just have the burst at the end to go get the ball.
Yeah, not fair for Josh Hollingsworth, the safety back there. as you saw Hale run the slant and out, and that's all she wrote. 35-0 the lead. 2:24 left to play in the half. We'll take a 30-second break here on Game Day.
It's a new season. And at Sport Clips, all of our stylists are clean certified and guy smart. So come in and get yourself back in the game with our legendary MVP experience. It's a mancation with our hot steam towel, relaxing shampoo, and a winning cut. Check in online and walk out with confidence. Sport Clips, it's good to be a guy.
There's one name left on the list for Jalen Hale. That's Camden Perry, as he now ties Jalen Brown for second all-time in touchdown receptions here at Longview. Perry's got 23. Hale and Brown now tied with 22.
By the way, just down the road, Hallsville is taking on Texas High tonight. That's 10-all in the second quarter.
Well, you're playing with my emotions when you say that. We didn't expect that to be anywhere close to close.
No, kind of expected Texas High to be a overwhelming favorite in that ball game. Right now, Hallsville, the Bobcats are hanging around.
4 plays, 60 yards, minute 8. Lobos with now a 35-0 lead. This one's going to go all the way into the end zone. Nurse is just going to down it there, and they'll come out to the 25 with 2:24 left to play in the first half.
As once again, the Wylie East Raiders will attempt to get something going offensively. They've had some moments. They've moved the stick some tonight. Had a credible rushing game here in the first half. Just haven't been able to get anything going through the air.
Well, turnovers are killing them. They've had 2 interceptions and 1 lost fumble in this first half, and the Lobos have converted all of those into points. Starting with the interception return for Willie Nelson. Chase Smith had a pick that led to a touchdown run by Taylor Tatum, and now the fumble recovery by Omarion Wallace leads to a Jalen Hale touchdown. Lobos come out of there with the ball, but they're not going to get it on the short gain by Nurse, and it'll be 2nd down and 10.
Lobos, as we mentioned, getting some different people out on the field. Simmons is back in at the corner on the near side. He'd been replaced for the last series.
2nd and 10, 25-yard line. Back to Terrell Washington at quarterback. Nurse, again, the tailback behind him. This is an offense that runs so slowly. Down by 5 scores. You're not trying to come back and win this game. You're just trying to come back with something positive before the half ends. They got a long way to go. 2nd down. It's Washington keeping himself. Gets grabbed and pulled down. It'll be Jeremiah Rugley. It's going to be the first one to grab him. Fighting off a block that time as Marcus Harbert was holding on to Rugley, trying to keep him away from the play. He reached around, grabbed him, and then waited for some help to come. And it's going to bring up 3rd down. That's a loss of 2 back to the 23-yard line, and it's 3rd and 12.
Yeah, outstanding play by Rugley. He was probably being held at the time, but still managed to get away from the blocker and make that play. And so that's one he'll want to put in his highlight package.
He's had a pretty good highlight few weeks. 3 sacks. He had 2.5 a couple weeks ago in the Bryant game. And now with 1:36 left to play in the half, we get a timeout on the field. And they didn't tell us yet who that timeout was. You kind of think it's Longview, though, with 3rd down and 12 coming up.
Yeah, you would expect it to be Longview as they see the opportunity to maybe get some more points here right before the half. By the way, it looks like they've got Sublett a set of crutches. They're icing down his lower right leg. It does not appear to be a knee. That was my initial fear. But they've got him on some crutches over here, and he'll be heading to the half via the crutches.
You know, when I talked to Coach King before the game, he said, our defense is almost everybody out on the field, but they're banged up. He said, my defense is banged up. Offense, we're seeing guys replaced left and right, offensive line, quarterback, tailback. But defense have been pretty consistent with the same 11 players with the exception of Boone, but he says banged up. Here we go on 3rd down. Rugley, Washington gets away from him. Comes to the 25, the 30, a little high step and pulled out of bounds and then thrown out
he's
late.
He's going to get 15 extra.
Devin Isaac, senior, knows better and throws him down after the 1st down. Washington had it already at the 36-yard line, but well out of bounds. Devin Isaac throws him down. They'll tack 15 on.
Well, I mentioned in the pregame, he's the type of kid that if you get good coverage and it breaks down, he just pulls it down and uses those feet of his to go pick up a first. He was going to get the first on that play and then gets a bonus 15 as he's thrown down out of bounds.
Yeah, so they'll walk this thing up to the 49-yard line, Longview side of the field. Again, it was going to be a first down either way, so they'll give the first down. And Wylie East has something at least positive going on now with the last minute 25 to play here in the first half.
You go from having to punt to crossing midfield.
Yep. First down, we'll go back to the ground. That's Nurse trying to go wide. Fights off the defender Chase Smith, and will get knocked down at about the 41, maybe the 42-yard line. Willie Nelson with the tackle after a gain of 8.
Smith did a great job of reading from his safety position, unable to make the tackle. And so they get an 8-yard gain, and the clock stops as they go out of bounds.
Well, Willie Nelson's had an active first half.
Tell you what, Willie Nelson and Simmons are two excellent sophomore corners.
Second down and 2, 41-yard line. Minute 17 left to play here in the first half. So one timeout left for each team. Back to the ground, it's going to be Washington keeping it himself. Boy, evades a couple of tacklers and goes down to about the 35-yard line. Smith on the tackle there, but that's another first down for the Raiders.
Terrell Washington Jr., TWJ, I like that. He's evasive at times.
He has an offer from Akron to play football at the next level. In trouble this time and pulled down way back at the 41-yard line. That's going to be a drive killer as Washington gets knocked down way back, loss of about 6 or 7. First guy there was Arius Shepard for the Lobos.
Yeah, he's not a tall kid. Built a little like Kyler Murray, and he's got broad shoulders for a quarterback, but not particularly tall, so he's going to always have trouble seeing over defensive linemen. But he's very quick with his feet, and like I say, he's not afraid to take on tacklers.
Second down 17, 42-yard line, last 20 seconds of the half. Handoff to Nurse, and nothing doing. First guy there, Caden Brooks, and that probably will bring us to the end of this first half.
We knew the Raiders were going to have a tough time of it here tonight in Longview, and it has been a difficult first half for them. Had a nice-looking drive that got taken away from them early with the Willie Nelson pick six, and after that, it's been pretty much all Lobos.
All right, well, the clock will run all the way down to zeros. Now, we got to walk you through the plan here at halftime because we don't have our crew here for the halftime presentation. Here's what we are going to be able to do for you. We are going to bring you in the halftime what's going down on the field for the beginning of this. We'll get a chance to see the Wylie East Raider Band. However, when it comes time for the Lobos band to come out there, and I know some of you watching at home are going to be upset with us, but it's not our call. We were asked by the band director here to not show the band. They are still getting ready for a state competition. They don't want anybody else to see what they're doing. This is the performance they're going to do at state apparently, and so they have asked us not to show the band, and we are following the direction of the band director. Just so you know, I know you're going to be upset watching this going, I want to see the band. We don't have the ability to show the band. We get the feed from the school, and they have been asked not to show the band. After state competition, we're going to show you the full halftime and the band. But before that, that's the request. That's what we're going to do. We got to live with that.
I'll tell you what, that's cruel.
You don't want to make a band director upset.
No, I agree
100%.
If that's what the band director wants, that's what he gets. But either way, we've got some other cool things here at the half. We're going to have an interview, and so...
what we're going to do is a couple things. We're going to let you watch the band. It is going on down there right now that is letting us show them. Randy Floyd's going to be joining us at halftime as well. We got an interview with her. You know her, cheerleader for the Lobos. Recently, Miss Gregg County and the homecoming queen a couple weeks ago. She had a busy weekend 2 weekends ago. We had a chance to sit down and visit with her. We're going to let you hear from her. We'll bring you the stats that happened in the first half and more. You're checking out Game Day with a 35-0 Lobo lead.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the field the jewels of Wylie East, the 2021-2022 Wylie East Sapphires. Sapphire officers are Lieutenant Taylor Etheridge, Lieutenant Ava Foster, Lieutenant Macy Norris, Lieutenant Haley Gamelt, and our Captain Julia Borsack. Sapphire Sergeants are First Sergeant Emily Combus, First Sergeant Ella Schulting, Sergeant Ellie Beth Eason, Sergeant Sarah Haney, Sergeant Mason Harris, and Sergeant Justina Rosario. The Spirit Girl of the Week is Abby Gesper, and the Sapphire of the Week is Emily Combus. Sapphire managers are Kristen Arwood, Kayla Robinson, and Madison Shavers. Sapphire guards are Ashton Ferris, David Passy, Sean Taylor, and Caden Thrash, and Everett Vasquez. The Sapphires are under the direction of Stephanie Jackson and Assistant Director Ashley Lloyd. Tonight, they will be performing a field military tune on the floor. One more time, give it up for the Wylie East Sapphires.
marching band. The band will be performing their show entitled Efflorescence, featuring music from Edith Piaf, Thomas Ferguson, Imogen Heap, James Horner, and Kishi Bashi. The band is under the field direction of drum major Selena Buga, Kaylin Cash, Jenna Kraft, and Kylie Nutter. Please help me welcome to the field the 2021 Pride of the East Marching Band.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Longview Independent School District is proud to present to the field for 57 years the 2021-2022 LHS UX. Officers this year are left to right: Junior Lieutenant Anna McCory, Junior Lieutenant Holly Mae Moore, Senior Lieutenant Angie Mendoza, Junior Lieutenant Haley Pittman, and Infantry Captain Senior Wylie Hunter. The viewers will now entertain with their critical team 2, Bad Guy. Hero of the Week is Junior Soleil Wood. Spirit of the Week is Junior Ellie Woods. Teacher of the Week is Mr. Andy Gonzalez. Review works in the direction of Mrs. W. Brown and assisted by Mrs. Meg Roberts. And now the 2021 Longview High School Majorettes will perform a dance storytelling to Drag Me Down. Ladies and gentlemen, under the third direction of drum majors Justin Blanco and Ashley Rivera, the Longview Independent School District proudly presents the award-winning Longview High School Lobo Band. This is the Big Green Marching Machine.
35-0. Lobos with the lead. We're at the half. As we told you before the half started, we are not able to show you the Longview Lobo Band by the request of the band director. State competition coming up. They don't want anybody seeing what they're doing, so we're not showing that per their request. We apologize to fans of band kids out there. We will show you all kinds of band after state competition, we promise. But what we are going to show you now is a chance to hear from Randy Floyd. We sat down with her recently, the cheerleader for the Lobos, Miss Gregg County, homecoming queen. Take a listen.
James Brewer, Longview High School principal, and Sophia Masari, student council president, will crown the 2021 homecoming queen. She is Randy Floyd.
My name is Randy Floyd. I'm a cheerleader and I play soccer. Homecoming Queen means that I have made an impact on the school in somehow or some way on our students here to be voted by our student body. So I didn't know anything about the Gregg County pageant because the school really didn't announce it, and it's only open to our senior class. So Miss Savannah, our front desk lady, had pulled me aside and told me to sign up. From there, our senior class voted on who would be the Longview representative, and I was chosen. So then from there, I had met with the other contestants from the other schools, and we talked. They were all nice, and I only met them once before the pageant day. So the pageant day came about, and we actually had a good time. I like at each and every one of them. They were all fun. We met with the judges. We talked with the judges before they had to individually interview us. And that's when they did most of their judging. So, and this was all at the hotel that we were staying at. So at the hotel, they interviewed us, and then from there, we went to the fairgrounds. At the fairgrounds, there was hundreds of kids from each one of our schools representing us. They're screaming. It was very loud. From then, we answered 2 questions on stage in front of everybody while the judges went and decided who would be Miss Gregg County. I wasn't really expecting to get Miss Gregg County, but I'm glad that I did, and it was very exciting, especially when Longview represented and ran up on the stage as soon as my name was announced.
County for 2021 is Miss Longview.
Being named Miss Gregg County means a lot. Our school hasn't won any Gregg County pageant in 30 years, so being the first out of the 30 years was very exciting, and I know I made Mr. Brewer proud.
All righty, we are just about ready to start the second half. Teams are getting ready to get back onto the field. How about a quick recap of half number 1 as the Lobos have a 35-0 lead at the break. Scoring started with Willie Nelson's 62-yard interception return on the first drive of the game for the Raiders. 7-0 Lobos. They'll convert a 11-yard Jarrett Lewis touchdown run to cap off the first quarter. 14-0 Lobos. Lewis had 2 touchdowns. The second one came early in the second quarter from 15 yards away. Make it 21-0. Taylor Tatum got in the game following a turnover. He goes in from 20 yards out to make it a 28-0 lead, and then Jalen Hale gets his first touchdown catch of the evening, and as we had said in the first half, it is his 22nd touchdown reception of his career. He is now tied at number 2 with Jalen Brown for most touchdown receptions in a career for a Lobo.
I love it when you say first touchdown reception of the evening.
Oh, yeah, there'll be more.
When you've got Jalen Hale on your team, you kind of do expect 1 or 2 every week, and he has not disappointed thus far. And tell you what, also the catch by Hamilton was a heck of a catch down the middle for a big play. And,
yes.
We came into this year thinking maybe Jordan Allen was going to be the running quarterback, Joshua Thomas the throwing quarterback. But now that he's been pressed into being the quarterback, we really see Allen coming along with his passing game.
7 of 8 in the first half, 113 yards and a touchdown. The stats look like this at halftime. 10 first down for the Lobos, 8 for the Raiders. Both teams running the ball effectively, I would say. 22 carries for 74 yards for Wylie, 11 carries, 84 yards rushing for the Lobos. Passing is where it's all falling apart, though, for Wylie East. They're 6 of 8, but for just 24 yards, they cannot get down the field. Lobos 7 of 8 for 113 yards. Lewis leading the way, 5 carries, 57 yards, 2 touchdowns. Tatum has 3 for 24 and 1 score. Brandon Nurse, 15 carries, 51 yards, leads the way for the Raiders. Jalen Hale with 2 receptions, 27 yards and a touchdown. Marion Hamilton had 2 for 45 to Kalen Taylor, 2 for 30, and Jamerson Derensburg had 1 for 11. That's the stat breakdown at the half. We're getting ready for half number 2. Lobos, who deferred after winning the coin toss to begin the game, are going to get the football here to start half number 2.
Yeah, first time tonight we'll get to see Weston Waters, the junior place kicker for Wylie East. No action in the first half, so he'll tee it up and get an opportunity to boot it here.
Yeah. So the very first kick of the day. We talk about how Michael Field's going to be worn down, kicker for the Raiders, not so much. Short kick, and Lobos fighting for the football and finally secure it at the 37-yard line. We had 2 guys who both wanted the ball. Neither one wanted to give it up, and the gentleman that walks out of there with it is 43. That's Jaquarius Cooper. And the Lobos will start at the 37-yard line.
What we have here is a failure to communicate.
Or to want to give up the football.
Who's got that? Well, they both called it, and neither one relented on it. Probably fortunate that didn't start a chain of events that could have been bad here to start the second half.
That's one of those where you don't get to be in the kickoff return team anymore. All right, so it'll be first down 10. How about ground game? The Lobos go. Handoff Jarrett Lewis maybe to the 40-yard line. It'll be second down as he picks up about 4.
There was some conversation at the half. Will this be a short half? Will both teams just settle in and be content to run out the clock? I do think neither team's going to show a whole lot that their district opponents are going to see. Certainly, you would be shocked if John King and his staff tip their hand on anything that they may be planning for the Highland Park game here in the second half.
Which is going to be all the discussion as we move through this half. It's next week's game. But right now they got to finish off this one. Back to pass, Allen looking screen the other way. That's Victor Bush who catches it back at the 32 with a lot of room to run. Breaks a tackle, still going to the 40, to the 30, down the sideline with a little speed and dropped at the 16-yard line. 1st and 10 Lobos as the tight end rumbles for a big gain.
Yeah, I think that was Isaiah Shields who may have finally pulled him down. It was just an excellent run. We've seen them run the middle screen a couple times, particularly last week they ran it twice. This week they set up a screen to the outside, well executed. As soon as I say they won't show something new, they put a new wrinkle in.
Yeah, that's pretty good new wrinkle, by the way. Great gain. First down, up the middle. Taylor Tatum inside the 10. And they'll drop him at about the 5-yard line. Should be very close to another first down.
Looks like the Lobos are intent on putting their foot on the throat and salting this thing away. They ran an excellent screen play for a big play to get down the field. Now Allen goes over, talks to Coach King. They got Taylor Tatum in there, who we said in the first half they may put in, or you suggest they may put him in to get some touches tonight in order to be less rusty a week from tonight.
Exactly. All right, first down at the 5-yard line, right up the middle to Tatum again. Squeezes through for the touchdown. And the Lobos pick up the first score of this third quarter and run the lead to 41-0 with 9:59 to play in the third.
Well, they had set up a play with the H-back heavy on the right side, really went up the middle, run behind it. And Tatum gets to experience something. It's been a couple of weeks since he put one in pay dirt.
Well, actually his second touchdown of the evening. And let's get Michael Fields on for the point after try. We'll make it a 42-0 lead. Quick break. We're coming right back here on Game Day.
At Godarzi and Young, we take things more seriously.
Every case that's handled at our office is handled by a team. That work and dedication has caused our office to recover more record verdicts and settlements than any other law firm in Northeast Texas.
It is our obligation to make sure our client has the financial backings and the manpower to be successful.
We are exactly who we say we are. We're trial lawyers who've gotten results year in, year out.
All right, welcome back. 9:59 left to play in the third quarter, and the Lobos got exactly what John King wanted. Quick drive, another score, and a lot of breathing room. 42-0. You're going to get to see a lot of bodies playing in this second half.
Yeah, we expect to see a number of substitutions here in the second half. It'll be interesting to see what Wylie East does here with their first possession. They've fallen behind 42-0 here to start the second half. Will they be simply having live action practice tonight? Will they be trying to put points on the board, trying to get some kids in the game? We'll see what they have in mind.
Yep. Big lead gives you lots of options if you're the Lobos. 9:59 left to play in the half. Michael Fields back on for more kickoff duty. And here comes the boot. This one will drive the return man who fair catches it at the 9-yard line. They'll bring it back out to the 25.
Yeah, Nurse had to field a bit of a knuckleball. We talked about those short line drive kicks are usually ones you want to try to return. That time Nurse realized the way that thing was coming in, he probably just needed to wave the hand and start down at the 25.
That third quarter drive opening up 4 plays, 64 yards, results in the touchdown. And back to defense go the Lobos now. Ball at the 25-yard line for Terrell Washington, the quarterback for Wylie East. There's 3 receivers spread out this time. Quick pitch. This is a second back we have not yet seen for them. That's number 4. That's Tristan Lee. He's a 5'9", 173-pound junior, and that goes little or nowhere as Lobos are quick to sniff that one out as Chase Smith, not fooled at all, grabs, hangs on, and drops him for no gain.
Yeah, unfortunately, Lee comes back hobbled on the play. It'll be interesting to see how bad he is hurting there.
All right, so second down and 10. Still sitting on the 25-yard line. Defense for the Lobos, Billy Smith, Leonard Epps, Jesse Fairchild. They're the starting defensive line. Darian Boone, Caden Brooks, Devin Isaac, Jeremiah Rugley, the linebackers. This is a little middle screen caught at the 25-yard line and out to about the 43, maybe the 44-yard line. It's Christian Williams for a pickup of almost 19 and a first down.
To be honest, I'm not sure if that pass wasn't beyond the line of scrimmage. If it was, those linemen were downfield. No flag on the play, and that's one of the better plays from scrimmage the Raiders have had this evening.
Of course, remember, Raiders are without their head coach. Coach Gold with a little issues, and quickly they're going to run off the tailback. They're going to get a second or new running back in there. Number 40 is Emmanuel Alajagubi, who is the second tailback. He's actually a linebacker. The senior's in the backfield now, and on first down he goes on the wrong side of the quarterback. Williams is in Washington, all kinds of trouble, and he's dropped for a loss of about 5 or 6 yards. Bottom of the pile. That looked like it was Caden Brooks maybe that came out of the bottom of that with the tackle. Yep, that's Caden. It got him first. Well, loss all the way back to the 38-yard line. New tailback went the wrong side of the quarterback.
I'm just going to call him Emmanuel, and he looked lost on the play. He did not look like he knew where he was supposed to go, and because of that, they suffered the loss on the play.
Yeah, loss all the way back to the 38, so they lost solid 6. And that's going to bring us a second and 16. 7:55 and counting here in the third. 42-0 Lobo lead. Wylie East in all kinds of trouble. Man in motion, back to pass Washington. He's going to swing one, which was actually backward. And there's Chase Smith again blowing that play up. On the reception, Eli Albert. And that's going to be a loss back to almost the 30-yard line. They're going in the wrong direction fast. I tell you what, Chase Smith's having a very nice football game again tonight.
He's been very aggressive. He's coming up from the safety position to make those plays. That means he's reading that almost immediately. Somebody spent some time in the film room this week.
And that's back to the 33-yard line, so they dropped another 5 yards. And it's third down and 16. Third down 21, third and 21. Back to pass Washington. He's in some trouble. He'll throw the ball deep sideline. Man there, and it goes through his hands out of bounds. Intended target was Cheris Jackson. He can't hang on to it. It's fourth down. Willie Nelson on the coverage.
Yeah, Willie did a good job. It was pretty much stride for stride with him. He was going to take an extraordinary throw to make the completion, and Now it looks like another Raiders hobbling off. That's going to be number 52, Marcus Harbert.
Yeah, that's the left tackle. That's out of there.
Punt formation for the Raiders.
He looks like he's cramping. He's down on the field. We'll see if that looks like a cramp because he's acting like that left leg may have a cramp. Snap is low. Got a little bit of time. That's a punt that barely gets out of there. It takes a Raider roll down to about the 35-yard line. There is a flag down back where the punter was at the 21-yard line, and there's an unhappy Devin Isaac back there that ran into the kicker, and they're going to give him 15 yards on a first down.
Yeah, Jim Cranford, the Whitehead, his job back there on that play is to protect the punter. Unfortunately, that time, as you described,
Isaac.
Well, I had number 2 on the roughing call there, but
yeah, Devin Isaac.
Okay, well, I got a different name there. Oh, yeah, you're right, Isaac. I was looking at 3. My bad. But either way, it's an automatic first down, even though it was 4th and
21.
21. It was beyond the 15 yards, but when you get a personal foul, it's automatic first down.
So they'll mark it at the 48-yard line, still on the Wylie east side of the field. But it's a first down for the Raiders, and on first down, it's the new quarterback, Hubbard, keeping the ball for maybe a yard. Second down and 9 coming up.
Yeah, I like that decision. Hubbard never looked comfortable the 2 series he was in the first half. I love the decision. When you got a quarterback in fresh, let him get hit and let him get in the flow of the offense and get a little action, break a sweat, whatever. But he never looked really comfortable that first half his 2 times he got on the field. Let's see what he can do here.
All right, so it's second down and 9. Ball at the 49-yard line, and again, they're going to do what they have been doing all game, which is kind of eyeballing what's going on the sideline. And on second and 9, Hubbard, quick pass off right side. That's caught by Eli again.
Another great play by Smith.
Yeah, Eli Albert, and there's Chase Smith coming up again to close that thing out and result in no gain. It's 3rd and 10.
If you're watching what Wylie East does when they come to the line, the Mannings on Monday night talked a lot about the fake snap count to get the defense to commit. You try to go up there, act like you're about to snap the ball, get them to commit, and then call your play.
It's a 3rd down and 9 coming up now. And
that's a perfect example of it right there. You act like you're going to snap it, see if the defense will commit, and then call your play.
So on 3rd and 9, Hubbard ready. He's got 3 receivers split left. Back to pass looking that way. He's going to throw one left side in and out of the hands of Terrell Washington, and it's 4th down.
And we talked about Washington's also their leading receiver. That time he did not help the other quarterback at all. He just dropped one that hit him in the breadbasket.
There was a holding penalty on the Raiders. Coach King will decline that one. 4th and 9 coming up.
This time you expect them not to take a very aggressive rush after having had the roughing the kicker penalty.
Yeah, you would think. There's been 2 penalties Devin Isaacs committed tonight. One kind of throwing the guy down out of bounds in the first half that cost him 15, and then running into the kicker or roughing the kicker.
Nelson and Taylor back.
Nobody getting near the punter this time. Better kick. High up in the air, and a fair catch called for. It bounced off of the Lobos, but there are flags all over the place. DeKalen Taylor was trying to make the fair catch. Maddox Fraley got way inside the halo, if you will, of getting the room to catch the football.
Yeah.
And we'll wait and see what the call is. Yeah, there it is. You get it.
And it's no longer called the halo. You actually have to make contact with them now. You can get right in their grill as long as there's not contact. That time, the back judge determined that there had been contact, and even though it hit off one of the other Lobos, they're going to maintain possession.
Yep. So we'll have a penalty added to all of that. And it's going to be first down Lobos at the 46-yard line.
Looks like, is that 14 Tut coming in?
I believe it is. Andrew Tutt getting his first look at action here in week number 6. We had him in for a snap last week. Here's the sophomore first down handoff, and that is going to be to the second fullback.
It's McFarland.
Contravian McFarland, who will go for about 6 yards out to about the 42-yard line.
So we're going young here. We'll have to check the O-line and some other positions. They may have wholesale substitutions. Sitting on a 42-0 lead with 5:21 left here in the third. Looks like the Lobos are calling off the Dogs.
You would think. Calling off the Wolves. Gain of 6. 2nd down and 4 now. Low snap. Tut's got to go down and get it. Hands off McFarland. He's got a first down as he scoots across the 45 out to about the 47-yard line. Alexander on the tackle for the Raiders.
We mentioned early on, nobody else in district's playing tonight. All of them took care of business on Thursday night this week. Some games of interest. Texas High has pulled out in front of Hallsville 23-10. They're starting the third quarter. And surprisingly, Pleasant Grove was only down 3-0 to Carthage at the half. Carthage came out and scored right after the half to make it a 9-0 ball game. I think they must have missed the extra point.
All right, well, a couple of surprising scores, as you say. Nobody thought Hallsville would hang with Texas High for very long at all. And update on the Carthage game, 17-6 is the score now. Carthage with the lead. Handoff again. And how about a little outside action and out of bounds across the 40 to about the 38-yard line. That's Taylor Tatum with the run.
Tatum, who, while he didn't start tonight, certainly at the start of the season was expected to get the bulk of the carries this year for the Lobos. We mentioned the first half. Unfortunately, banged up a shoulder against Legacy in the first half down at Rose, and so he's been on the shelf for a couple of weeks, getting a little action tonight, knocking the rust off.
And actually, we'd heard from his dad. He actually had that shoulder issue all the way back to the scrimmage with Texas High. So having the last 3 weeks off's got to be good for him. And a healthy Taylor Tatum's got to be good for the Longview Lobos. Handoff McFarland inside as the fullback runs up to about the 31-ish yard line, where it's going to bring up a 2nd down and about 3 or 4.
Man, Tut is just a sophomore. Had to bring him up when, unfortunately, Joshua Thomas got hurt. So I'll be surprised if he has a very long leash tonight. You expect he's going to hand off the ball a lot here in the second half.
Yeah, but I also think that they're probably going to let him throw a little bit. I think he's going to be careful about not being a bad host.
Yeah.
42-0. The head coach is not with the opponent tonight, and you don't want to be a bad host, but you also want to give your kid a chance to throw a little bit.
And you don't want turnovers. Here they come out in the gun.
Yeah, low snap again, handoff McFarland again. McFarland to the 30, 25, 20. Good for another first down as he goes for 13 more.
Well, they made that a lot more exciting than it should have been. Tud had to field a bounce snap and ends up handing the ball off, but McFarland does a good job ripping off a pretty good gain.
That had been an issue they had the first couple of weeks. They settled on Tavion Morgan being the center here in the last few weeks, and he's done an outstanding job, and we haven't had that conversation about low snaps at all in the last several weeks. Got a new center in there now. That's Chris Clodfelter, who had been injured himself and is just now getting back into shape.
Yeah, unfortunately, they're going to have a 1st and 15 here as the right tackle and the tight end look like they all bobbled on that one.
Yeah, they all wanted to go together.
Some discussion right now. Maybe the defense had come across. We'll look and see what the call is. And Mr. Cranford and his crew are having a little powwow down there on the 20-yard line.
Yeah, they have not moved the football yet. Ball sitting at the 20. This was a game that was a 14-0 lead after the quarter, 35-0 lead at halftime, and they are going to call it offside.
I saw some lobbying down there by a couple of the Lobos, and no, we bobbled, but it's because they came in and made some contact with us. But they will restart the clock here as it's running again with 2:35 left here in the third.
They were tempting us. They tempted us to jump.
Ah, the seductresses.
That's right, those Raiders. It's a 1st and 5 at the 15. McFarland, the lone back. As Tut goes under center, hands off to the fullback up the middle. And again, the pile just pushing forward to near the 10. That should be enough for the first down. In fact, now he's actually struggled his way up to the 7, so it's definitely a first down.
Tough running here by McFarland. He's had a few opportunities late in ball games this year to get some touches, and tonight he's running with a lot of determination.
Not a bad start for Mr. McFarland. 5 carries, 38 yards on this drive. And it's first and goal Lobos. Lewis went 6 for 61. Tatum's gone 6 for 54. And now McFarland 5 carries for 38 yards.
Jacarius Cooper checks in at the receiver spot.
First down and goal. Another handoff opportunity to McFarland. And this is just going to be easy. He runs in without ever getting touched. And the Lobos make it 48-0. 1:38 left to play in the third quarter.
Tight formation that time. They drew everybody in. So when he bounced out, all he had to do was stride out to the goal line.
And McFarland's chances have improved because Elijah Johnson's been out hurt. It has really been next man up who's getting the opportunity, and McFarland's making the most of it. The 5'9", 190-pound senior getting in there and getting a touchdown here on green out.
7th touchdown of the night.
About Tutt as the holder, and I think we got a new kicker as well. It was Jacob Vasquez that's coming in for the kick, I believe.
Well, you know, you've got a great opportunity when you can audition a backup kicker.
Yeah.
That's one of the things when you've got a lead like this and you've got a quarter left, you can do that.
You certainly can. So Vasquez gets the point after try. We'll take a quick break. Back in 30 seconds on Game Day.
And now at Orr, we want to buy your used vehicle and we'll give you guaranteed top dollar for yours. And if you prefer to trade, even better, with massive savings on every new vehicle at Orr Cadillac GMC in Longview.
Welcome back. 49-0. Lobos with the lead. If anybody needed a rest tonight, it was Michael Fields.
He put in a lot of work in the first half, and now they're going to give him a little bit of a break. Let's see if they have him kick off. Looks like he's back out there for the kickoff.
Yeah, but the sophomore gets on the a scoring chart for the 2021 year as Jacob Vasquez hit the point after. Michael's back on now for the kickoff. Comes with 1:38 to play in the third. This one kicked that's a little short this time. Another fair catch called for as that one is gathered in by Cheris Jackson at the 18-yard line, and they'll set it at the 25.
We got 1:38 left here in the third. We're going to spend some time in the fourth quarter talking about next week's opponent, Highland Park. It's going to be a big showdown over at Highlander Stadium there in the Park Cities next Friday night.
Well, I want to tease something, though, before we get caught up on it. We got 1:38 till the end of the third quarter. We've got a special treat to show you between the third and the fourth quarter. Do not walk away from your screen, because in the next couple of minutes, we're going to rock your world. That's all I'm going to tell you.
It's pretty cool. I'm glad you hyped it up because it deserves the hype.
There's first down handoff inside, and that's good for another 11 yards. That's number 6 again, Christian Williams on the carry. He's had a couple of carries that are effective up the middle.
And we want to remind you, if you don't have your volume up good, if you've turned Chuck and I down because you don't want to listen to us, turn that volume back up in between the third and fourth quarter.
Yeah. All right. First down at the 36. We got a bunch of new guys on the field. We'll do our best to try to get everybody's names called here as Jeremiah Bragg is out there. Demarius Hunter is out there. A couple of linebackers that are lined up behind the defensive line.
Curry's back out of the corner.
We'll try to get some others as well as we go through this quarter. Ethan Pulte in there at defensive line. Another handoff to Williams. He's smothered at the 38-yard line after a 1-yard gain. It'll be second down and 9 coming up.
Yeah, I believe that was Demarius Hunter got in there and made that play. So the rest of the way, you would think Coach King is going to have a light foot on the accelerator.
Second down coming up. Out there at linebacker, Azarius Shepard, they've actually moved out. It's kind of a stand-up end. He's standing out on this near side of the field. He's been normally a hands down on the ground defensive lineman. He's up at linebacker right now. And he's wanting the pass rush. Off he comes, passes a slant. That's caught at the 45-yard line. And across the 50, ball ripped out. Longview trying to find it. They've got it at the 47-yard line. Catch made by Rashawn Washington, but he had the ball ripped out of his arms. And the Lobos get another turnover. They'll take over at the 46-yard line. Here's, first of all, the hit and the rip. And that's Chase Smith that started it. The rip comes out from 16. That's Drake Mayfield. And I did not get the number on who fell. Let's see if we can get the number. There's a scrum going for it. And let's see if we can play it all the way through. That may have been Shepard, I think, that came back and got that. I think that was 55 that got the fumble recovery.
Tuts under center again.
Yep, so first down, 46-yard line, back to the ground we go. And a 2-yard gain maybe. New tailback in there for the Lobos. That's Zylan Taylor. And that ends the quarter. I promised you something special. Keep watching.
Here come the Lobos, putting on a show. Thumbs up for the green, white, and gold. Hear them howl, they're on the prowl. Strap it on. Here come the Lobos. Green machine is scoring touchdowns, just give us the ball. Mean Green's getting after them all. Beast from the east, howling at the moon. Lobo Nation winning's all that we do. We're playing Smash Mouth down south, Texas way. And Coach King, he's calling all the right plays. Here come the Lobos, putting on a show. Thumbs up for the green, white, and gold. Hear them howl, they're on the prowl. Strap it on. Here come the Lobos.
All right, back to live action. Tuts pass intended out near side here. Malik Lewis was the intended target, incomplete. And it's going to bring up a second down and, third down, 7.
We hope you enjoyed the hype video that was put together for the Lobos this week. Very cool presentation. Hopefully we'll get to use that some again in the future. But it was kind of strange. Typically you don't end the third quarter right with the ball at the 50. It didn't take long to move the ball to the other spot.
Yeah. So ball sitting at the 49-yard line. Third down and 7 now for the Lobos. Tutt with a quick pitch. That's coming near side, and that's Taylor, and he's going to be taken down right at the 48-yard line. Zylan Taylor, and it'll be fourth down.
Quick 3 and out for the Lobos, but the clock continues to run, and that's the secret at this point of the game. Where you just want to get in, get out, and not have any injuries here in the final quarter of what's turned into a blowout.
Yeah. All right, so we are rolling into the fourth here. Half a minute gone. It's a little bit of a taste of a hype video. Hopefully, we'll be able to use that again down the road as we get the season moving on. All right, punting time. I think it's the first punt of the night for the Lobos. Fields back at his 35-yard line, boots this one away, and it's going to hit at the 23, take a Longview rolling bounce inside the 10, the 5, and touchdown at the 1.
Well, I've complained for the last 3 weeks that the Lobos have not gotten very good rolls on their punt. It just seemed the ball worked against them. That was one that was for the ages. It rolled perfectly. And Lobos were able to down it right on the 1-yard line.
Yep. If it rains, it pours for poor Wylie East, who will face a 99-yard field trailing 49-0.
Talked about East, who came into the game 0-1 in district, 2-2 overall. They've already lost to Sherman in district. They're going to fall to 0-2 after tonight against the Lobos.
All right, first down at the 1-yard line.
Like we have the illegal substitution.
You hate when that happens.
Well, it's going to go half the distance to the go.
That's not far back.
Yeah. So looks like the East coaches, remind you tonight, they're under the direction of Jay Rose, their head coach. Marcus Gold unable to make the trip. They call a timeout.
Yeah, I think they're going to kind of get things reset here with 11:01 left to play in the game. It's 49-0. Lobos with the lead. We're going to remind you for the last quarter of this game how big next week's matchup is. It is number 3 Highland Park, number 4 Longview, going into Highland Park for what basically is going to be the tie-breaking and the big advantage in this district 7 5A Division I lead. And there's a lot riding. If you get the first spot in this district at the end of it, you don't see Denton Rye until the regional finals.
Which is kind of a big deal.
That's kind of a big deal.
Yeah. Highland Park looked very good. They took it on the chin in week 1 against Southlake, a game that was on national television.
Yeah. So here at first down at the half-yard line, just trying to get out of the end zone. Now he got out, just barely got out. That's their tailback, 21, again, getting a carry. He hadn't done that in a while. That's Brandon Nurse. And all he did was get out of the end zone, and it's 2nd down and 10.
This is one of the problems you have when you're a spread/pistol team. When you've got these short yardage situations, it's hard to do this out of that spread offense.
Yeah, big guys Watkins and Stanford in there leading the charge.
Tell you what, you figure they're going to bring it all right up the middle this time.
Yeah, you don't want to be here.
Well, they come under center.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, Pulte made a great move to step around the guard. Quarterback was smart enough to have gone the other direction off the left side of the center's hip instead of the right, or he'd have run right into Ethan Pulte. And it's going to bring up 3rd down. He got about 2 out of that, so 3rd down and about 9.
And you wonder why more teams don't do that at all levels of football. That time, they sensed that they were going to put their ears back, so they just kind of sidestepped them and got a little breathing room.
And we are going to get the delay as they are under the 10-minute mark. Still got 16 on the play clock. 3rd down and about 8 at the 3. Lobos have all kinds of bodies in there. How about Sean-Eric Bivens is in there again at safety. Rugley's still in the game, and they're looking middle deep. Little contact at about the 15-yard line. No flag. The intended target was the number 2, Cheris Jackson. And it's going to bring up 4th down. Lobos were all over, and that was very easily could have been called pass interference, but I think the pass was offline far enough that they gave credit to the corner over there, Mayfield, to be able to hold his spot.
Yeah, we remind everybody this is mostly a second-team defense out there right now for the Lobos. They're going to see if they put anybody back to return this punt. Looks like they're going to send maybe Curry back to return the punt.
So 4th down and 8. Back of the end zone's the punter. He gets his best kick of the night out as he spirals this all the way back to the 45-yard line. Curry's got it there. 35, 20, and knocked out of bounds at the 15-yard line. Big return for Jacavion Curry.
Yeah, we got a flag that was thrown about 30 yards in the air from the far side. I don't know what the head linesman saw, but he saw something he didn't like.
30-yard return for Curry. Boy, he put on a impressive burst of speed, and we're going to get a holding penalty, it looks like, on the Lobos. So they're going to take some of this off the books and move them back a little bit.
Yeah, it's a personal foul. So,
it's a personal foul.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they called, but it was a 15-yarder, and so they're going to back that thing up. I don't know if there was some post-play silliness going on out there or what, but either way, it's unfortunate. A big chunk of Curry's return is taken off the field.
All right, so 1st down at the 35. We're thinking maybe crackback block was what the call was. That's Frank giving us feedback on that. 1st down, 35-yard line. Handoff to Taylor. Taylor to the 25, the 20. Flag down. Now something fell out, but he goes all the way to the end zone. Yeah, there's 1, 2, 3 flags back at the 30-yard line.
We're celebrating Flag Day early this year.
Yeah.
And we've got a bunch of linen on the field.
Taylor with the impressive run, but he's all for naught as this is going to come back again.
I'll tell you what, between Taylor and Curry, I want to get a mile relay team together. These guys, when they open up their stride, pretty impressive.
It gives you an idea about how talented the Lobos are, that the junior Curry and the senior Taylor struggle to get on the field. As impressive as these guys look so far.
By the way, Connor Burns, big offensive lineman, just checking in for the Lobos here.
All right, so it'll be 1st First down and 12. That was a spot foul hold, so it's 1st and 12 back at the 37-yard line. 9:04 left to play. First down, how about a handoff up the middle, and barreling his way is Taylor down to about the 26-yard line for a gain of 11.
Taylor was at 19. That may have been, yeah, that's Salient Taylor.
Yep. So second down and a yard coming up. Lobos with a 49-0 lead, and they're just milking the last 8+ minutes of this game away now. Tut under center, back to the ground. Taylor again, changes direction, 20-yard line, cuts there, tries to drag a man, fights his way down to the 11 for a gain of 15 and a first down for the Lobos.
Yeah, I think Wylie East has put some of their second stringers in. Looks like checking in for the Lobos is Israel Sanchez. Also, I think that's 93 Hudson Lloyd. Get a little playing time here late.
Yeah, just checked in for tight end. So Tut's coming in with the play. Under 8 minutes to play when we snap the ball. First down and 10 Lobos at the 11-yard line.
Power I formation.
Oh, yeah. You think you're going back to the ground? How about another one? Taylor, nice move as he sidestepped what was a defender coming at him. That's number 8 for the Raiders, Isaiah Shields, that got in the backfield. Taylor had to do a little sidestep and went forward to about the 9-yard line for a gain of a couple.
Yeah, Jose Soto won't enjoy seeing that on film day. He kind of got blown up on that. Looks like Ashton Polk checks in now for the Lobos.
Second down and 8 from the 9.
Polk, a senior. Also, just Connor Burns has checked back into the game. Looks like he and Sanchez are going to exchange plays at this point of the game.
And Braden Rivas in at left tackle as well. Second down and 8. Boy, quick handoff to the fullback across the 5-yard line. That's down to inside the 4, where it's going to bring a third down. They can get a first down at the 1-yard line. It'll be third down and a couple, just shy of the 3-yard line.
And if you're that second unit, you'd love to get points on your time on the field.
That was Ashton Polk, I believe, who was running that football. That's right, 42. He flashed in and out of there in a hurry. 5'9", 150-pounder. Handoff again inside, really close to the first down at about the 1-yard line, as the Lobos are threatening to get in the end zone again.
Yeah, it looks like we may have a penalty. They've blown it dead. Let's see what the call is.
And that is Jose Soto on the carry, and they're going to move him backwards. And he got down to the 1, and they're going to march him back 10.
So now you're going to have to try and score a touchdown with probably no ability to pass. I can't imagine Coach King's going to let them pass the football, so you're going to have to run this thing in.
You say that. I don't know if I don't let him, my backup quarterback with an all-backup unit out there, throw the football. Splitting out far side is DeQuincy Lafayette. On third down and 12. They're going to go back to the ground. That may be worse than even throwing the football, because there's Island Taylor in for the score from 13 yards away, and they make it a 55-0 lead.
I believe that's 89. Nathan McGee, the senior tight end, got a great block. Thought for a moment he might get called for a hold, but he's out in front of that thing, and he takes it to the house. And I would have been shocked if they threw the ball, but nonetheless, looks like we're going to get the
backup kicker, Jacob Vasquez again.
Yeah.
Another chance for the sophomore. Tut is his holder. Snap is good. Kicks on the way. Bangs it up and in. 56-0 Lobos with 6:07 left to play in the game. We'll take a break. You're checking this out on Game Day.
Don't fumble when you're looking for your next trailer. At RJ Trailers, we got the hookup. Cargo Mate, Hallmark, Text Line, Diamond C. We've got the inventory selection to get you into the end zone. Snap into savings with RJ Trailers. Don't pass up on the best deals around. R&J Trailers in Longview and online at rnjtrailers.com. We've got the hookup.
We are back. 6:07 left to play. all Lobos. Green out. They're going to go 18-2 in the 20 years of green out here at Lobos Stadium. And
not too shabby.
No, the records keep growing as the district home opener record is now going to be 18-0 for John King. He's never lost a district home opener. This will be their 26th win in 27 tries here at home, and it'll be number 199 at this stadium. And they're going to be 80-6 under Coach John King.
Looks like he's going to let backup kicker kick this time. They're trying to call roll to get everybody out there they need out there.
All right, 6:07 left in this.
Torres going to kick off.
All right, so Vasquez. I've got Vasquez. You got Torres.
Davis Torres.
All right, well, I don't know. I've got a different thing than you've got. Here's the kickoff either way. And it's one hop to the 31-yard line and return to about the 42-3-4 yard line. That's where the Raiders will start again. So you've got different numbers. I've got a different number than what they sent me this week. Weird stuff. Either way, apparently that is then Davis Torres. So I've mistaken Jacob Vasquez for Davis Torres, who's apparently kicked the last point afters.
Either way, both kids got their name called.
Yeah.
That's what we're trying to do at this point. Get everybody in there who's getting in there some recognition.
All right, first down, 44-yard line. Wylie East to the backup quarterback, Jaden Hubbard, back in the game. If I'm coaches on the other side, Terrell Washington doesn't get back in this game at all today. First down, handoff. That's going to be right up the middle, Christian Williams. They found a little success doing that. And it's going to be a gain of about 5, second down and 5 coming up.
I want to remind everybody, if you tuned in late, tough loss for the Lady Lobos tonight as they traveled over to Hopkins County to take on the Lady Wildcats of Silver Springs in volleyball. Tough 5-game match loss.
Yeah. Tennis, big win on Tuesday, beat Mount Pleasant 19-0. And they've got a matchup against Texas High Tuesday. That's going to
for the district team title.
You would think, yes. Texas High is ranked, I think, number 5 in the state. And cross country actually ran today, White Oak Invitational Meet. They've got district coming up on October the 14th. Right up the middle again, Williams for a first down across the 45 to the 43 of Longview as we come up on the 5-minute mark.
We also mentioned earlier in the broadcast, JV football won last night to go 5-0 on the season.
Freshmen won 55-3. They're unbeaten as well.
It's going good, and it's looking good for the future here at Longview High School.
Lots of winning. Was that Charlie Sheen? We're just winning.
Winning.
Yeah. First down, 43-yard line. Wylie East trying to avoid being shut out. The Lobos can do that tonight. It'd be their second shutout of the year. They blanked Marshall back on week 2. Another one for Christian Williams. Boy, they ate him up in a hurry that time. He's good for about a run or two, and then the defense just swallowed him up. Well, I think it's Amarian Watkins. First one there for the tackle. It's second down and 10.
We have not talked much about the Marshall game. 14-0. We left out of here that night with some concerns about the Longview offense. Those concerns have been addressed the last 3 or 4 weeks.
I think so. Second down, 10, 4 minutes left. We're going to be at Highland Park next Friday. If you can't be there, we will be there. We remind you, make sure you set your stuff to game day. Pre-game, we expect anywhere between 6:30 and 7. Just depends on who all of the crew is going to be there. It's a little movement on the Wylie East offensive line. It'll be 5-yard penalty, so it's 2nd and 15 coming up.
I want to remind everybody, next weekend is Texas OU weekend, so there's going to be a bunch of traffic.
Oh, yeah.
If you are coming into Dallas next Friday night, so you're going to want to leave home early so you can get over to Highlander Stadium.
How early can we leave?
As early as you can would be my suggestion.
All right, we're leaving early on Friday. We don't want to get caught in traffic. Clock running, 3.5 left to play in this one. We are not going to have much post-game. We're going to wrap this up pretty quick after we finish because obviously there's not a whole lot. Ethan Pulte, I believe, is the first one there on that tackle as he again swallows up the tailback for a loss of about 3 or 4 more, and it's going to be 3rd down and forever. Quick stat stuff, though. Jarrett Lewis, 6 carries, 61 yards, 2 touchdowns. Taylor Tatum, 6 carries, 54 yards, 2 touchdowns. Kentravian McFarland, 6 carries, 45 yards, and a touchdown. The last rushing touchdown, by the way, Isaiah Taylor from 19 yards away. Throwing the football, 8 of 957 yards and a touchdown for Jordan Allen. That touchdown pass was to Jalen Hale. He's only caught 2 balls, 27 yards and 1 score. They didn't need him tonight. They had everything else going on. Amarian Hamilton, 2 for 45. Victor Bush, 1 for 44. DeKalen Taylor, 2 for 30. Jamerson Derensburg, 1 for 11 as the numbers piled up in a hurry. Unfortunately, I lost my my pad here in the 4th quarter, so I don't have final team stats as the 4th quarter got played, but that's the individuals, and luckily all the starters were out by the time we got to the 4th quarter anyway.
Yeah, it's been a great 4th quarter to get as many kids in as possible. You got Tony Mawson in the corner right now. Zachary Moon's in at the other corner. We'll try to pick up some other numbers. There's some young men who are getting on the field, getting some playing time tonight.
I'll give you this. Going into the 4th quarter, 163 yards rushing, 157 yards passing. The Lobos obviously ate up some more grounded yardage, so they're probably up close to the 200-yard rushing mark today. Turnovers, none, which is a huge thing as far as Coach King was concerned. Penalties, I had 5 for 45 yards. That's a big thing as well. They cleaned both of those up. Other side, turnovers with a killer, 4 of them this evening for Wylie East. They had 2 interceptions and 2 fumbles, and the Lobos converted all of those into points. Back to pass. Hubbard sacked back at the 45-yard line. Yep, Zarius Shepard, who has been a busy man today, gets the sack back to the 45. It'll set up 4th down and 22 back at the 45 of the Raiders.
By the way, Shonrick Blevins in at the safety position. Bivens, excuse me, let me pronunciate that right. Bivens in at the safety position, was very deep that time.
On 4th down, punting time for the Raiders as they're going to bring in Weston Waters to punt yet again.
Michael and Flowers is also on the field right now for the Lobos.
This is a disappointing, tough one for Wylie East. They had been in every game this year. They had no chance in this one, though. Short punt hits at the 30 and gets the big Raider roll inside the 15-yard line, where the Lobos will get it with 1:27 left to play.
Curry was back, had no chance to return that. We'll see the Lobo offense one more time tonight as Tutt will lead them onto the field here. Probably take the victory formation.
The Lobos' lone loss week 1 to Denton Ryan, 40-7. The Scots' lone loss, South Lake Carroll, first week of the year. They've both been on winning streaks since then. It's going to be a showdown Friday night in Dallas.
Yeah, Scots had an impressive win over a very good Rockwall team 2 weeks ago. That's probably the top of their resume for the first half of the season.
We'll take a knee. Tuttle let the clock run down. We'll do that a couple more times, and that's going to wrap it up. So the Lobos are going to go to 5-1 on the year, 2-3 for the Wylie Raiders. And let's do the coaching update, by the way. John King came into this with 193 wins. He was tied with Winland Knowles and Joe Bob Tyler. And he's going to now have 194. That ties him with Jack Welsh, who had 25 years at Copperas Cove, Warren Trahan, 30 years at Cypress Fairbanks, Bay City, and Dickinson, and Everett Sleepy Reynolds, 28 years, one at Pine Tree, the other 27 at Carthage, as John King keeps running up the coaching win ladder. Next week, Randy Allen with his 418 wins.
If you don't know Randy Allen, he'll be easy to pick out on the broadcast next week. He'll be the guy with the fedora. He likes to mimic the late Tom Landry with his attire on a Friday night.
Yep.
So if you have not had a chance to see him in person before or on TV, he's easy to find.
He will be. Last snap, Tutt takes the knee, and the final score here at Lobo Stadium, 56-0. The Lobos 2-0 in district play. The Raiders fall to 0-2. And, of course, we will get our traditional conclusion of the game handshake. And here in Longview, we're going to get a little music as well.
Yeah, we'll get a little Lee Greenwood, God Bless the USA, here momentarily. School song as well. And if you're Longview, You're a little nervous. You lost Sublett in the first half. He was on crutches headed to the halftime. Had some ice on his lower leg, but other than that, I didn't see anybody else they might have lost to injury tonight.
No, and in fact, your courage, you got Taylor Tatum a little rust knocked off of him. You got to Darian Boone a little rust knocked off of him. And you're starting to turn the thing around about turnovers as they take 4 of them away, score on 1, convert the other 3 into scores, and have a cakewalk 56-0 win to wrap up week number 6.
And this is really what we expected last Thursday night in Mesquite, and then that crazy pitch play, which we didn't see them run all night tonight.
No.
Did not go well. The scoop and score tightened up a ball game that should have more resembled this week's ball game, to be honest.
Yes. We go back and recap the scoring for you just really quickly so we don't let you get away with at least not hearing how things went this evening. So we want to do that certainly before we get out of here today, so you've got at least an idea, if you weren't here from the beginning, exactly what happened. It started with a Willie Nelson 62-yard interception return for a touchdown to begin the game on the first series for the Raiders as they throw the interception. Jarrett Lewis gets an 11-yard touchdown run in the first and a 15-yarder in the second to make it 21-0. Taylor Tatum, first touchdown run in weeks. He goes in from 20 yards out, 28-0, and they finish the first half with a 21-yard touchdown reception for Jalen Hale from Jordan Allen to make it 35-0. Tatum from 5 yards away to make it 42-0 in the third. McFarland goes in from 7 to make it 49-0, and then we get the Island Taylor 19-yard run to make it a 56-0 final score.
Probably didn't give enough love to defensive performance tonight. Pitched a shutout. Good to have Boone back on the field. They didn't have Buddha tonight. Didn't seem to miss him too much tonight. It'd be great to have him back a week from tonight.
You're not kidding. All right, well, that's going to wrap things up on our end. We'll let you probably watch going on the field as we wrap our way out of here. But for Tony Kirk, for our crew here at Game Day, I'm Chuck Zach. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you next Friday.